Dear Mother, I'm writing you twice in one day. Can you believe your luck? The festivities at Six Hills have been a pendulum of excitement. After we left Nico's and acquired our souvenirs, we made our way, with the rest of the festivity goers, to the grasslands. Victor was approached by Yinny, the halfling knife dancer we met at our sparring match yesterday. They seem rather fond of each other. I wonder if a knife dancer's blade is like the plumage of a peacock. The sharper the knife, the more attractive they appear to one another. The grasslands were packed to the brim with things to do and see. Sarah and I decided we should get our judging duties out of the way, so we dragged Victor, Ezra, and Bolt with us over to the Brewbash booths. The Brewbash tasting was most enjoyable, primarily because Sari was having the time of her life. Poor Craggy became Sari's drinking vessel. I hope the Choir of the Crags isn't too offended. I wish you were here with me to experience the ales and wines we tasted. They were delectable. We were first approached by the infamous Meadstead Mead beer golems. The beer golems are giant constructs made entirely out of wooden barrels. The mead wasn't as terrible as Balin Heck led us to believe it would be, but it did leave a little bit to be desired. After the beer golems, we were approached by two human farmers, Gale and Brock Farthing, who were joined by their goat, Twiddle. Gale and Brock are from Esther, near the verdant farmlands. It seems to be more of a remote town. They were very kind and quite proud of their humble wine. Next, we made our way to the Edaquathan Run booth. I have never been this close to an Edaquathan before, and I tried my best to be polite and not stare at their sharp, protruding teeth. This year is the first time the Edaquathan have submitted an entry into the Brewbash competition. Hathor and Mirth, the standoffish booth owners, poured us a very tasty kombucha into cups made from real coral. After the Edaquathan booth, we met the most interesting creature, a keg pony. This keg pony was owned by Flitwick Battlebristle, a gnome from Pellbend who owns Bittermare Brews. Flitwick feeds his keg ponies hops, and as they walk and gallop and do the things a normal horse would do, the beer, which was quite dense and fairly good, ferments in the pony's stomach. The drink is dispensed from a tap near its underbelly. I didn't ask Flitwick if the keg pony could be ridden, but assuming it could, it would make a great companion for long journeys. The next booth featured a divine wine by Chateau Morlaine. Two humans in lavish robes welcomed us. They were Galen Hawk, a self-proclaimed sommelier, and his apprentice, Margaret Nicholsides. If we were judging on presentation alone, they would certainly have won, hands down. The wine was housed in delicate bubbles that gently floated through the air. The next brew was made by the students at Millabrax College. A single woman in a red mask named Tessa Tanoki shared a mixed drink with us. It was a little bit of a disappointment, but I drank it nonetheless. The second to last booth was a drink that finally got the attention of Victor. Rock Hopper Distillery is run by Geltrude Rockhopper and her sons Haben and Myrtle. The dwarves produce a potent vodka that had Victor and Bolt smiling from ear to ear. Geltrude recognized Sarai as a member of the Vanguard and mentioned that there is a huge group of mercenaries, Clan Fallowshield, camped outside of Six Hills. Sarai explained to us that Clan Fallowshield was previously known as Clan Brightshield. They lived in the Malagoth Mountains but were exiled a few centuries ago. Clan Brightshield had been the protectors of a grand vault, which held a large collection of crystals. The crystals themselves contained the spirits of evil creatures. While under Clan Brightshield's watch, the vault was breached and the evil therein released. Clan Brightshield was exiled, and their name changed with their banishment. They've been hunting down the aberrations, devils, and demons ever since, as they attempt to clear their name. Our final stop was at an open tent where a huge minotaur in a kilt was serving rum. Hollick's half-pharaoh, the minotaur, described his drink as a nature brew. He had the most adorable little churning elemental making his rum. I was gawking over the elemental, and I think he was a bit embarrassed for me, so he gave me a little elemental of my own for the road. It's been interesting to see how each of our party reacted to the drinks. Ezra was quite excited to try everything. I think he knows his way around a strong drink. Victor has very picky taste, though it's possible I'm mistaking picky for refined. Bolt seems willing to try anything. However, I'm not sure they actually digest food and drink the same as the rest of us do. Sere, like Bolt, will try anything. Balin Heck may regret having her as a judge, as I think she enjoyed them all equally. After we completed our judging rounds, we made a little pit stop. Actually, a few pit stops. Had a magical medical tent to help us keep our wits about us. Some of those drinks packed quite the punch. We waved hello to Ignis Sal, one of our fellow judges, but Ainor Elevir, the fourth judge, was nowhere to be found. Once we were all feeling ourselves again, we headed over to the bounder races. Bounders are creatures that are similar to the rabbits we have at home, but several times larger. Victor was the only one of us brave enough to bet on the professional bounder race. And wouldn't you know it, his pick won. The race was exciting to watch, but surprisingly dangerous. Despite the potential impending doom, Ezra, Victor, and Sere decided to try their hand at bounder racing in the amateur competition. Victor trusted me with his knives while he raced. They are the loveliest weapons I've ever laid eyes on. They are obviously well cared for, perhaps obsessively so. Each dagger is unique, yet razor sharp and perfectly balanced. They seem intended to be used for throwing. The first dagger had a broad blade made of blackened steel with very angular edges. I'm not a weapon expert, but it seems to be dwarven made and was engraved with the dwarven rune, where the blade and crossguard meet. I wish I could read dwarven. I'm curious what it says. The pommel flared out at the bottom. The next dagger was a wicked-looking kukri blade with a reddish tint mixed with a blackened steel. The pommel had a sharp spike. Above the grip, a rune was etched in Orcish. The third weapon was perplexing. The handle itself had no wrapping, but the edges were surrounded by some sort of perpetual moisture, making the handle soft to the grip. Another rune was etched down the handle in a language I am not familiar with. The blade itself was long and slender with the slightest hint of blue. Strangely, it reminded me of seaweed or some other aquatic vegetation. The fourth blade felt more familiar. It was a utilitarian stiletto-style blade with little decoration or flair. There was writing on this blade as well, this time in Infernal. The last dagger was a small Chris-style weapon. A red cloth was wrapped carefully around the handle, leaving 4 to 5 inches of material dangling from the pommel. There was a carving on the crossguard written in Goblin. I asked one of the goblins sitting next to me in the stands what it meant. He graciously obliged and then gave me a strange look. "It says, nah," he told me. Victor kept one blade with him, which I haven't been able to inspect in person yet. Victor is, quite literally, shrouded in mystery. I'm not sure I trust him yet. Bolt and I sat in the stands and cheered on the others as they mounted their bounders. The race began, and our friends were quickly in the lead of the pack. Unfortunately, about halfway around the track, Sere's bounder fell, throwing her off and causing a massive pile-up. The track was soon just a huge heap of fur, limbs, and dust. In the end, Victor was, well, the victor, with Ezra taking second place. Victor collected his winnings and then revealed to us in secret that he fed his bounder one of the sugar bombs from Nico's prior to the race. A sly fox, that one is. Sere was a bit beat up after being thrown from her bounder, but I was able to help patch up some of her scrapes and bruises. I'm feeling more grateful for these abilities I've been given, which I've previously always thought of as a curse. Just as we were regrouping and considering what other shenanigans we could get ourselves into, the shenanigans found us. We noticed that a large group of Arcanum had begun to gather nearby. It seemed a little odd considering we were in the middle of a jovial festival. Suddenly, the earth began to shake quite violently. We struggled to keep our footing. I wondered if a void rift were going to open again, like the one in Potter's Path. A rift of sorts did open, but it was a fissure in the earth. From out of the ground rose a gigantic earth elemental in a blistering rage. Near the crack in the ground, a grass-free area of dirt began to bubble, like a boiling pot of water. From the muddy soil arose several small clay-like monsters. They reminded me of baby bears in the spring, but with the temperament of a viper. They were absolutely darling, round and squishy, but also threw dirt clods at us, vomited mud, and attacked us with their surprisingly powerful weapons. Justicar Grenwhitehall lunged forward to fight the huge earth elemental. As she ran past us, she ordered us to fight off the little muddy beasts. At first, I was taken aback that she assumed we could just jump into the fray at a moment's notice. Then again, Sarai and I did come to Six Hills as a reward for fighting undead, and apart from Ezra, we were all sporting rather serious-looking weapons. Ezra was the first of us to attack. He shot the most magnificent orange magic from his hands, completely obliterating one of the walking dirt clods. I've never had the opportunity to see such beautiful magic in combat. I was amazed at his power, but I suspect he was holding back a bit, afraid of what the prying Arcanum eyes might witness. Victor in the heat of combat is a lovely sight to behold. He moves as a graceful swan, swooping around the enemy, a pirouette out of harm's way, a soaring leap to kill. He is so lithe and nimble, the rest of us look like oafish dolts, with all the dexterity and grace of a sack of potatoes in comparison. And we have our eyesight to help us. About halfway through the conflict, we discovered that our little friends could travel through the earth. We watched as they sank into the ground at one point, only to see their sinister little muddy faces begin to emerge in another space. It was unnerving. I don't think I'll look at the muddy banks of the river the same for quite some time. Bolt's strength is unparalleled. They expertly beat down our tiny enemies without breaking a sweat. In hindsight, they may not sweat at all. Regardless, they took every attack from the little brutes in stride. Of course, Sarai is a star with her spear, Craggy. She not only uses her weapon to attack, but to expertly pole vault over the enemy, showcasing her power and deftness. I have much to learn from her. The Justicar was able to make relatively quick work of the Earth Elemental with the help of her magic-infused hammer. She crushed the elemental with a final powerful blow. When she was finished, it was nothing more than a pile of rocks and debris. The remainder of us were down to our last sludgy soldier. Sarai's face twisted into a snarl as the Justicar helped finish off the Mudman. I don't think she appreciated the assistance, and I thought Victor was the only one who could shoot daggers. Overall, our little team came out on top. That's not to say we escaped entirely unscathed. Victor and I took the brunt of the damage amongst the group. At one point, I was completely encrusted in a column of hardened dirt. It was not my proudest moment. While we wiped the mud from our weapons, Justicar Whitehall had a brief exchange with Balin Heck, and then promptly ordered us to follow her to the Arcanum offices. I watched as Ezra's face turned from a lovely hue of green to a sickly shade of yellow. After watching her make such quick work of that menacing elemental, I'm sure Ezra was imagining the fate the Justicar had in store for him, assuming she had discovered his secret. However, he didn't cower in fear, but strode confidently forward. I admire his fortitude. His courage, paired with his incredible mind, are an unconquerable combination. He is an iceberg of brilliance. Upon arriving at the Arcanum offices, the Justicar revealed that they somewhat expected the Earth Elemental attack. Apparently, they have been able to read vibrations to predict when one will occur. They've asked for an increase in their local Arcanum forces to help keep the multiplying attacks under control, but were denied their request. From what the Arcanum can tell, the source of these vibrations seems to be coming from Hollowbend Sanctum, a small rune to the south of the Long Road. The Justicar offered to pay us 30 gold per person, with an additional 15 gold per person advance, to investigate the source. This request was quite unexpected. We all felt a bit like we were going to be scolded when she marched us down to the Arcanum headquarters. Sarai and Ezra both agreed to the Justicar's request, and so I will be joining them. I cannot let Ezra out of my sight, and the trio need me to stay with Sarai. Bolt and Victor will be joining us as well. In addition to Justicar Whitehall's task, Balin Heck has another request for us. He has offered a 50 gold bonus to find and safely return Ainur Elovir, or to provide information on her whereabouts. Some Arcanum scouts found her caravan abandoned near Hollowbend Sanctum. They speculate that it may be bandits that had attacked her. Ezra and Bolt shared that they previously ran into bandits along the Long Road, so bandits are a likely enemy. We are to take the airship, the Greatest Tresure, and travel to Hollowbend Sanctum immediately. I've come back to my room to collect my things and send a message to my employer. I couldn't resist taking a moment to write to you. Miss you. Love, Eve.
Oh, what is it, me?
Yes.
Oh, hey, everybody, welcome back. Welcome back to the Tales of Aneria, session 3.
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you for the recap, as always. And let's go ahead and just get right back into it. You guys are making a hasty, not getaway, but you're making a hasty,
Fly away?
it's a hasty exit from Six Hills at this point, because you have a mission before you. So you were all able to go back to the Bull's Whistle Tavern, do a little bit of housekeeping. Well, not actual housekeeping, that's already taken care of.
One final bath.
Would I be able to contact Yinny just to let her know that I'm still interested, but I'm not?
You're interested.
That I may or may not be able to get back in time. I mean, or depending on if I die.
You want to slide into her DMs?
Easy.
How dare you sully that name? It was not sullied before.
Yeah,
it was
sure, right. That's the purest name that has ever come out of this. Yeah, so you can go ahead and you basically just leave a message with the innkeeper.
Okay.
Who's just he just like blank face stares at you again. This is a Minotaur, and then just like writes down your message and says that he'll deliver it, or he'll have it delivered.
He doesn't have the NPC dialogue for this
He just
particular
goes,
request.
"Great day at the fair, isn't it?" Over and over again. Yeah. Yeah. And then you guys all make your way to a kind of a large tower that stretches above the hills that surprisingly isn't really noticeable until you are looking for it. It seems to be designed kind of to be almost reflective in a way that like there's some mirror panels on it that just seem to keep it out of your mind and out of your sight unless you absolutely need to see it.
Is it in Balin's birth, or is it on one of the other?
It's in Balin's birth, I think is what I said last time, so we're just going to stick with that. It probably would be a better idea to have it higher up in one of the hills, but it is in Balin's birth.
Everything goes through Balin's birth,
yeah.
as you said.
Yeah. And it is true, like all of the airships that are bringing goods here do drop them off there. So as you guys approach, there's this giant structure, and you just see, there's only a few there right now. Well, actually, it is the festival time. There's a lot of airships kind of docked. Pretty much every spot is full up with these gleaming airships, either yachts for nobility that are kind of gilded in the finest gold or silver that you can find, or just kind of big barges that have decided to bring a lot of money. You can actually see like a Wellspring Item Company barge that hasn't docked. It's kind of just like floating overhead after dropping off its payload, waiting for the specific customers, because it's like a convention. You just park it somewhere, it'll be fine. And out of all of this, you walk up to one of the surliest goblins that you've seen today, mostly because he's probably working during the festival time, and ask him for directions to the Greatest Treasure. And he goes through a quick look on his ledger, and he says, you're going to want to go up to floor 4, and then you're going to go to docking port 3. Which, don't know why we don't use numbers and letters, but nobody ever tells me nothing. And so you guys, unless there's anything that anybody else wants to do here, you can head on up.
Vamonos.
Okay.
Before we get too far, if we're going to be traveling as a group, I suggest we have some sort of leader, somebody to speak for us. And I would like to nominate Eve. Seconded.
That sounds good for me.
Yes, sounds great.
All right.
She sounds very charismatic.
Lead on.
I will do my best to do you proud.
But let me know if I offend.
We'll have
Any-
weekly check-ins, I'm
Oh,
sure.
Thank you.
One-on-ones.
Yes, one-on-ones, evaluation meetings, those kinds of things.
Then we can find the synergies and make sure.
No synergies.
You know what? I quit. I can't do it. I get enough of it at work. I can't do it again, guys.
So are you a little thrilled at the idea of leadership, or are you more? Does it kind of induce a little bit of nerves and anxiety?
It definitely induces nerves and anxiety, but there are some things echoing through my mind of what's been told to me.
I guess when you speak, would you have like any outward indication that I'd be able to hear that type of anxiety, or would you like on the outside stealing?
I think you could probably hear a little hesitation in Eve's voice.
So I guess Victor would kind of approach and kind of just kind of lean, put his hand on your back, and just kind of say, "Don't worry, you'll be fine. We are behind you."
Thank you.
Just have that natural leader essence, radiating off you.
So go ahead and give me a perception check really quick, would you?
10.
Well, that's good enough. I said the DC pretty low. So as everybody's kind of filing into this small little, it's not really a lift. It's more just like a spiraling staircase heading up. Very mundane for a magical city. You stop as you kind of turn to your left and you see the flash of black fur just kind of across the street. And it's weird that it catches your eye, and then you kind of see a small little flutter of wings and a single feather fall down in your line of sight, and it goes down the same alley that fur went down. So what would you like to do? Would you like to follow your comrades?
So Eve turns to Sarai and says, I need to take care of something quickly. Would you mind getting everyone settled in the airship?
Am I second in command?
Obviously.
Oh. Can you call me Sarge?
I don't know about this.
No.
We did not vote.
Hey,
How about this?
the leader says we follow her instructions.
All right.
If she puts me in command, just stuck with me.
I have a bad feeling about this.
All right, everybody.
Said by the droid.
Sere makes good point.
All right.
You can fight amongst yourselves.
Good
I will be
leaders
back
delegate.
shortly, I think.
I have no
what
interest
do you
in
want us to do?
leadership.
Just get on the ship?
Get on the ship. Don't leave without me.
Of course.
Figure out. Is it being manned by? We don't. Have
You
to,
don't really know who it's being manned by, but it is a contracted ship, so you will not have to fly it.
Do you need
figure
help?
out how to fly it.
Is everything okay? Do you need help with anything?
We're still in shit.
I don't think so.
All right.
I'll
Well-
be back.
Well, boys, let's get on the ship.
Okay.
Eve will follow.
All right, so you kind of duck down the alley just in time to see the tip of a reptilian tail, and you kind of follow this what appears to be just like a regular garden snake as it kind of weaves through the stone pavement. And you look up to its destination. You can see two women already sitting on crates, and the snake kind of goes behind, and then a third woman kind of props up her hands, and she goes, "Hollowbend Sanctum, huh? That's exciting."
Is this the right path for me?
Oh, absolutely. We think that you're on exactly the right path. The people you are with are perfect for what you need.
What should I look for there?
Hollowbend Sanctum is going to have an item in it that is going to surprise you. It will seem almost surreal. And that item you need to make sure that prying eyes don't lay witness to. Your friends are fine, and anyone that you need to get help to find out what this item is will be fine as well, but as far as other eyes, and she kind of pointedly looks over, and the other two kind of follow her lead, and they all look over at the Arcanum outpost in the distance, and she says, "You should not become aware of this. Keep it close to the chest."
Right. I can do that.
Perfect. Now, before you go, we were a little worried. You and your friends took quite the beating in that last fight. Is there a boon that we might grant you?
Please, we all could benefit from... I'm concerned that we might need to use some of our abilities once we arrived at Hollowbend Sanctum. Can you help us so that we can utilize those without having to rest?
Of course. A swifter recovery will befall your entire party.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And which one of us would you like to evoke on this mission? And they all kind of like perk up a little bit. Almost, you can see the one that's in like the owl feather cloak is kind of almost preening to make herself look a little nicer.
Pick your favorite kid.
Yeah. And the one that has like really dark black hair, she's kind of like combing it down to make sure that it's perfect, and they all just kind of wait for your reply.
Now, this is a Torrey question.
Mhm.
Can you remind me what each of them like specializes in?
Yeah.
Like what their...
Sure.
Are they
You
Yanti?
guys are-
You said
You
Nope,
guys
they're
are getting
not
some
Yanti.
insight into a background here.
I mean, Ezra knows nothing.
Player knowledge.
yeah.
only.
Yeah.
None of you know anything.
Your knowledge be damned.
I'm just watching this cool scene play out. It's
Let's
awesome.
see.
We are viewers. In our own right.
So, the Claw, the Panther, specializes in basically predation. She specializes in discovering who's the hunter and who's to be hunted, kind of recognizing that and preying upon that desire that everybody innately has to kind of it's not really like a desire to subjugate or anything like that. It's more of just like a natural desire to be like, I know where I'm at in the pecking order kind of thing. Which is funny for the non one. The fang, the boa, is cunning and guile, and the talon, the horned owl, is wisdom. And she's also the inquisitive spirit. So, and she's kind of the balance between the other two.
I think I would like the Fang.
And the other two kind of sigh a little bit, and the Fang's like, yes, I knew it. I knew it, and thank you very much. And she kind of just waves her hands in a little bit, like, it almost looks like she's just making random motions because she doesn't really care what motions she makes in order to bestow this. So for as long as this mission lasts, you will have the Gift of the Fang, which will give you the ability to use a bonus action to disengage.
Cool.
And actually, that will be a 3 times.
Okay.
Sorry, I did have a limit on these. I got excited though. Okay.
I'm excited.
And then they all say, you should scurry along. There's a lot to do and not much time to do it.
Thank you.
And then as you kind of like turn and walk away after giving them that reverent bow, you hear the sisters going, so which booth should we go to first? So seems like they're going to have a lot of fun while you go put yourself in danger.
Yes, they are.
Typical gods. All right. The rest of you climb the stairs to the 4th level. Yes.
Yep.
And
Or 3.
you kind of come out onto this big like ringing platform. And there's a couple gangplanks that are held up by kind of diagonal buttresses and everything. It's all very engineering-esque. And you kind of look around and you see one of those gleaming barges that definitely belongs to the noble. It is labeled as the My Billibrax is what it's called. And you can see that the people are wearing like livery and everything in there. You see one that is just kind of a normal transport ship. There's a couple dwarves hanging around just chatting away. They don't have like a name on it. And then you see what essentially looks like 3 airships cobbled together. And on the side is painted in the worst handwriting you've ever seen in common, the Greatest Tresure. And as you guys all stare at what is essentially the Millennium Falcon, you hear this pop, and then a large spring comes off of it and smacks into Bolt's chest and kind of rocks you back a little bit.
I pick it up.
You may be able to use that later for spare parts.
And you
It doesn't belong to me.
You hear some
No,
cursing.
I-
Does anybody speak Draconic? I know that is a weird language to say in Aneria. Nope. Okay. Yep. So there's some cursing in kind of a hissing tongue, and then this alabaster white kobold comes rushing down the plank, saying, excuse me, that's mine.
Well, there you go.
Thank you." And he kind of like twists it a little bit just to check to make sure it's still got some springiness to it, and then he looks at you. "Are you the ones from the Arcanum?"
We are. I'm assuming this hunk of junk is the greatest treasure?
"This is the greatest treasure. I am Kes. Nice to meet you. Yes.
Well met. Yes, we are... we need to come up with a name for ourselves, don't we? Well, we'll get to that later.
You arrive at this time.
We are supposed to be getting a ride to some place. I'm not very good with details. I'm so glad you're back. Where are we going?
We are going to Hollowbend Sanctum.
Never heard of it.
Okay, it is near the Long Road,
Mm-hmm.
just south of it, I believe.
Oh, you mean Hollowbend Forest. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I can take you there. Come on.
Why is it called just the forest and not the sanctum? We never.
The Sanctum is a rune that's located there.
Is that so?
I believe.
This kobold definitely
I'll take
doesn't
your
know.
word for it.
So he kind of ushers you quickly on. You all get a little bit of a better look at him. He's definitely a tinkerer of sorts. He's smudged. He's got the smudged leather, pockets upon pockets. You can see that on his belt is a frying pan that looks like there might be a little bit of dried blood on it. And then on his back, he's got this really large fishing hook. And then his eyes are covered by goggles, but you can just see the rim of pink that's kind of around his eyes, which kind of goes with the alabaster skin and everything. And he says, "Hurry! We don't have much time, and I don't know how much I've got.
How much you've got?
How much I've got until I need to fix this darn spring again." And he goes, "Oh, you're mechanical.
Yes.
Would you help, Kes?
Sure, I'm somewhat of an inventor myself.
Tell me, Kes, should this spring break while we're in flight, what exactly can we expect?"
And he goes, "Because I save us."
That sounded very dramatic. I'm not sure I like it, but...
You'll be fine. Just don't get close to the edges.
Yes.
Good advice for any boat.
Yes. Well, he seems confident enough. Wish I could... wish Craggy had given me the gift of flight, but perhaps at later levels.
There's a little bit of a tinkling laughter like harmony that comes from the
I can just imagine.
weapon. Craggy might be a little bit drunk right now.
Craggy did partake.
No.
So he ushers you on, and as soon as the last of you is on, he literally grabs the single tiny rope that was holding the airship close and unhitches it, and then just kind of uses his foot to kick off. And this airship, which kind of just looks like a large kind of it's not really a large boat, or it's not like a ship size, more like a rowboat that, well, I guess it would probably be more like a standard like speedboat or pontoon with like a second level beneath it. But it pushes off like it weighs nothing, and then as soon as it's off, he's already up, and he tosses the spring to you, and he says, "It goes right over there." And he's at the thing, and he kind of just cranks the steering wheel and grabs one of the nozzles, and not nozzles. That's not a nozzle.
Levers.
Yes. Throttle. Yeah. And it goes
Levers.
and kind of like jerks back. Everybody kind of has to grab onto the aforementioned railing. At which point, let's see. Sarah, give me a dexterity saving throw.
15.
So you grab onto the railing, and your piece of the railing snaps and falls and tumbling down. You have to catch yourself normally.
Okay.
And then you guys are off. And it's not a fast moving ship. It's not a slow moving ship. I think I think they can go about like 20 or 30 miles an hour. Is what I decided for standard airships. So you guys got to have about a half an hour or so.
This thing made the Kessel run in 10 days.
It is. It's my greatest treasure. He says as he kind of just spins it a little bit and kind of weaves it around. The Wellspring Item Company ship blares a horn as he gets too close and nearly collides with them. And then he is off going southwest, leading you all away from Six Hills and towards Hollowbend Forest, which is just, again, it's about 15 miles south and a little bit west of... Yes, a little bit south and west of the Long Road.
I'm going to go over and take that spring and try to put it in the place that it
Go ahead and give me a check with your tool proficiency.
Okay.
Also, while he's doing that, I will point out that we forgot to mention that he is now level 2 Artificer, so he has infusions. He grabbed himself +1 armor and a bag of holding.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep, and a bag of holding and added +1 to my armor. So, tool infusion is just my proficiency?
Yeah,
or
so there should be a proficiency in tools that you have under proficiencies.
Okay.
Should say like Tinker's tools or what tool proficiencies do you have?
Oh, I think I put outlet supplies. I don't know why I would show that, but
Okay.
I did.
It might not be a.
I'm
there
just
might not
wondering,
be like a
what the
Tinker's
plus
tool.
is. That's what the plus is.
So it's probably your intelligence plus your proficiency.
Okay.
Mhm.
Cool. It's only a 10.
It's serviceable. You have to hold it.
I jam one end of the spring in and push it to get it down in, and it starts to pop back up, and I just step on it. Well, this is my life for the next hour or 2. Spring's fixed.
Wonderful. I need to check the engine. You take the wheel. And he
Right.
points to Ezra.
I will take the
Who is
wheel.
I feel personally attacked. They did not choose me.
Don't be. I'm sure you have another job, like swabbing the deck or something.
I know you can't see this ship, but it's probably better that you don't.
Don't run your hands
By
on it too
everything
much.
I've ever read,
What's wrong with the ship?
everything I've
What
ever
is wrong
read
with the ship?
about flight and airships, this thing should not be flying at all.
All
And
right.
he starts
So you
steering.
just like grab the steering wheel. You've never flown an airship before. He runs to the kind of the basically what looks like a pair of cellar doors that he attached to the ship, and he opens it up, and you can see this giant like gout of flame come out. And he runs downstairs, and after a few minutes, he runs back upstairs, closes up the hatch. He very noticeably, while making eye contact with everybody, locks it. And then he comes over and he takes the wheel from you and says, "You should be good now. Should be good."
Everyone have second characters written up just in case.
Victor's
I have
like
39.
There you go.
Victor's widening his stance and like looking for the most like stable thing that he can find to like hold
You
him
are?
to.
He is? He's looking for the most stable thing?
With
No.
with his senses.
I'm feeling around to see.
You have 10 feet
He's
of
got
view.
my hand. 10 feet.
within a short range. So
You
I'm
hear the creaking of the
listening
ship,
around.
know where the
I'm
most
listening.
stable
Yeah, I'm
part
listening
is.
where it is. And
Stay
so I'm
away
just-
from the creeks.
I'm listening for the place that feels like it would be the
Gotcha,
most
gotcha.
safe.
Don't run
Away
your
from the
hands
edge.
along a lot of wood. There's a lot of splinters, man. How does this feel?
He didn't sand down anything for you.
It's very probable that he has just salvaged this from another wreck. You know?
Part of the railing is just like a ladder from someone. You know?
And despite all of this, like all of this danger that you guys just found yourselves in, you guys find it surprisingly easy to relax and rest, and you feel very refreshed pretty quickly. So everybody can go ahead and take a long rest. Yeah. Praise be.
My ladies, yes.
Is there anything that anybody would like to do while you're on your way? You have about an hour or so. It probably would be just about a half an hour because it's 30 miles per hour and you're only 15 away. But Cascas does have to stop about halfway through because the ship just kind of stalls in midair, and he just runs back down to the engine room and works on it for a little bit before taking off again.
Can I try and decipher some more of my...
Sure, absolutely. What does that put you at, Ezra?
So right now, that's 23 plus the 15 that I've done before. So
38.
38 out of 50.
Perfect. So for those of you, because you all know about the book now, he has got a sort of Arcana check that he can make each day to decipher more and more about the book and unlock more of its secrets. So, and there's I had a lot of fun writing that up. So, and I think. No, I don't think. Okay, apparently I don't think at all. All right, so is there anything else that anybody would like to do, talk about, say, anything?
Bolt is he's just going to sunbathe on the deck.
I'm just enjoying the view.
Yes, it's one of those metal things that you used to use to tan your face.
Reflects, yeah.
Solar
Understand
panels
your
to
face.
charge.
All right. I'd like to ask you all. I think we should have some sort of a plan for when we get for when we land. It sounds like this rune may be difficult to find. Kes has no idea where it is, but I think we need to stick together.
Does it have a sound? What is the description of this?
I have no idea.
We didn't get
I'm so
much.
sorry.
Bolts, you've been around everywhere.
Yeah, would the Arcanum have told us anything? The Justicar, Grant, if she would have told us anything about what to look for, or does she just know the general area?
So Gren just knows the general area
Okay.
of Hollowbend Sanctum. You've probably heard stories about it, though. Hollowbend Sanctum is one of the few ruins in Aneria. It is kind of a collection of foundations and archways that used to belong to some sort. It almost looks like some sort of like wizard tower community, something like that. Basically, there's definitely magic that hangs in the air. Most people just avoid it because, well, most people that visit Hollowbend Forest are farmers just looking for game, so they just stay away from there.
Has Bolt ever visited?
No.
No. Okay. Or maybe even been with someone that pointed. Oh yeah, off in that direction is
Yeah, so you've been with somebody not in Hollowbend Forest, but they've basically said oh yeah, in the center of Hollowbend Forest is the Sanctum, and so you just want to walk the perimeter if you're hunting.
An old companion of mine, once when we passed Hollowbend Forest, pointed out that in the center, roughly the center, is where the Sanctum lies. I myself have never been there, but I think with those basic directions, we should probably be able to find it. It's a decent sized forest, but it's definitely not Bleakwood. If you know it, if you've ever been there.
Does it? What type of animal life can we expect? Is there anything we should be listening for, watching for, tracks?
That I'm not sure of. I'm not a ranger, of course, but I would imagine all the standard forest-dwelling creatures.
Just bite down, man. You're fine. You're drawing more attention by not.
Important dialogue.
Well, you'll need to watch out for them squirrels. They can sometimes transmit diseases and things. Very nasty creatures.
I do remember the Justicar saying that Ainur Elevir's caravan was found not far from the Sanctum. So perhaps we should look for that, and we can go from
Look for
there.
the caravan for clues.
I would say it was found near the forest.
Oh, near the
Right.
forest.
Yep.
Okay.
But if they haven't found her yet in the forest, it's most likely that she's in the center.
We do have a really good vantage point up on the airship. Maybe Keskus could kind of circle around and
The airship
found
drops
it.
about 3 feet.
we have a slightly less good vantage point now. Just barely.
Constantly getting worse.
At that point, the doors fling open again, and Cascades comes back up, and he locks it one more time, and gets back on the way. So yeah, if you want to ask him, he would definitely be like, "Oh yes, fine."
Keskus, could you circle us around?
Oh yes, fine.
You were right. He did say that.
How did you know?
I have no idea.
I have a feeling. His middle
Future.
name is yes.
Oh.
Or his first name is just Cass, and it just gets repeated. One of the two. All right. So the next half hour passes by smoothly. Everybody, again, you feel refreshed. Excuse you, dog. And then you see not Bleakwood. That's way off in the distance. Hollowbend Forest, and it is a small forest. You can kind of see it doesn't really look menacing at all. And actually, in the middle of the forest, you do see the barest hint of like a single broken like stone spire. It doesn't look like there's actually a tower left. It just looks like a couple of jutting stones that remains. But he kind of brings it in low and circles around the long road, and then you spot like a broken caravan just off to the side of the road. And it just looks like a single wagon that's had its wheel broken off, and it no longer has any sort of rider or puller or anything like that.
Cascas, can we land here?
Yes. I can get you close.
Only one yes. Scary.
So he grabs the lever and pulls it forward, and the ship just starts dropping rapidly. But none of you, again, everybody kind of holds on a little bit, but you're not really sure where to hold. But as you get about 100 feet in, it slows down considerably. It's almost as if anybody has ever been under the effects of Featherfall, it is exactly like that, where you drop rapidly, and then as soon as you get close, it kind of until you're about 30 feet out, and he puts it in park, and he runs over to the side, and he kicks a rope ladder, and it just tumbles down, and he says, "Do I need to wait?"
I believe so.
We're supposed to report back pretty close. You probably stay around, please.
They're probably, if nothing else, waiting for us to give our verdict to the Brubash.
And that's of the utmost importance.
Of course. I wait 4 hours?
Yes.
Put it this way, if you ruin the entire carnival because you did something stupid, it's on your head.
I wait 5 hours.
Good call.
Good luck.
Victor,
Thank you for
I don't mean to offend
Thank you. And as you move off, the spring.
I was just gonna say, after a few minutes, you hear in the background.
No! Yeah, he'll get it properly fixed.
Excellent. How are you with ladders?
I'm fine with ladders. Why?
I'm just making sure because you can't.
I can see in very small distance. It's not a big problem. It's based on sound. I can kind of hear it a little bit.
Okay.
Visualize it in my mind in a way.
Excellent. I'm very curious about that. You'll have to tell me more about it.
Yeah, someday, yes.
Someday. Oh, I guess we're spending a lot of time together then, are we?
That's optimistic.
All right.
Victor's not sure how he's She entrapped him in his words, and he's conflicted. He's like, huh.
Oh, Victor, you don't know how to deal with women.
Right, down the ladder then.
I'm not sure any of the three know how to do it.
No.
Fair point.
Too young, and construct.
All right. So, yes,
Down the ladder?
we'll go down
Okay.
the ladder.
All right, you all descend the ladder. No problem. Not going to make you roll for a ladder. That would be cruel.
Roll ladder check.
Roll a ladder check. You all get down.
Is it a
onto
stiff
the
ladder?
ground. No, it is definitely a rope ladder.
Okay,
so it's one at a time. It is not quick.
And around.
I will go last, just in case.
Thank you for that.
In case it breaks and you fall to your death.
You have a seatbelt?
Well, yeah, that. Can the seatbelt double as a beanbag? So I can right when I hit the ground, I can
No.
squeeze.
It's a common magic item. What do you want from me? The ladder does hold as you descend down last.
There's lots of creaking.
Oh yeah.
A few
Fraying,
rope twines
yeah.
go.
you hit the bottom and you're like, good ladder, and it just snaps. Perfect.
Sorry.
That's fine. I have two.
Good, because we're supposed
I
to
might
climb
need
back
to.
up there at some point.
Where was that emergency ladder? And he grabs a normal ladder and kind of holds it off to the side, like, look. So yeah, you've got a ladder to get back up.
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of step ladders. stay to each other. Okay. Caravan. Serious business now.
Right.
Kes is gone. But he's not gone. I mean, he's working on the airship.
He's off screen.
Yes, he's off screen. Out of sight, out of mind. That's what I always say about my NPCs. But you guys see, again, this broken caravan. It's very easy to see. Is anybody proficient in investigate?
Yes.
No. I'll approach.
I have a
I'll approach
really
it.
good passive investigation, though.
So it's really easy to see, just apparently for everybody, that there are some like broken jars, that there's some spices and everything, almost as if there was some cooking supplies that got spilled here in the chaos. A couple potatoes, incense spices, that sort of thing.
I kind of rummage through some of the debris, and I come up with some very pungent spices. And I go, yes, and I actually put them in my bag of holding.
Perfect. One vial of pungent spice.
All right.
Is it considered grave robbery if no one's dead? Then it's just robbery.
Yes.
It's not a grave.
Well,
And
as far as we know.
As far as we know.
If Cascas were here, he would just say salvage rights.
Squatters' rights.
He's, you know what? The ladder does extend, and Cascas does come down. He starts rummaging through the wagon. Yep, he just starts like ripping off planks, and he grabs one of the wheels and everything.
Kes, easy. That may belong to someone that we're looking for, who hopefully is very much alive.
Oh, okay. I make better then. Yes.
Thank you.
And he still is taking it apart, but he's taking a little bit more care of it and like hauling it up. It looks like he may be hauling it piece by piece up to the airship. So you've got that to look forward to. He's got to do something for 5 hours.
I suppose this is not in my jurisdiction.
But you do find a small trail, and just leaving out like a couple footprints in this remainder of this spice that lead off into the forest. So you guys can start tracking. If somebody is proficient in survival, it would probably be better. Nope.
But I have +2.
Nope.
I have a 0.
Oh no, we need
I have
ranger.
+1.
Said no one ever.
I was gonna say this.
So everybody go ahead and roll me a survival check. Let's see if any of you can pick up the trail.
16.
9.
Survival, you said?
Yep.
14.
6.
So, Victor, it's not so much that there's a visible trail that you're following as remnants of this same spice. Like, it is, as Bolt noted, very pungent, and the what little remains on the footprints is enough for your nose to pick up, and you just kind of take off into the forest, weaving through the bushes.
Follow me. One of my uncles once said, "Follow your nose. I can smell something that's similar. Let's investigate."
Good to leave as any.
I don't know how much I trust the science, but I'll go along.
Off we go.
Yep. So off you go, and as you are moving through, Ezra, you do see a few signs of like broken twigs, a little bit of a blood splatter here or there, as if something not bleeding heavily, but just like little drops of blood that would indicate somebody passed through here. And you all move through. Again, it's not a very dark forest. There's not like it's kind of your standard coniferous.
Like
Pine trees?
Pine trees and
Or
stuff?
deciduous?
Deciduous. It would be deciduous. Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's not pine trees, yeah, it's just like regular oak. And, yeah. And you eventually come to this archway. And it's old, it's kind of decrepit, there's vines growing up over it. You can see almost a little break in it, as if one of the stones is almost ready to fall, but is not quite there. And the trail kind of leads to this archway and then just stops. There's no more smell, there's no more blood drops, but there is nothing on the other side of the archway as far as you can see other than more forest.
So like when I'm trying to smell it, when I walk up to it and I like walk around it, does it just disappear?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Basically, if you walk around to the other side of the arch, that smell disappears. You can still smell it behind you, but you can't smell it.
I don't know what you guys are seeing, but the smell is gone. It seems to stop here.
So the trail just ends at the archway.
Abruptly, yes.
Is there any like writing or like runes on the ruin?
Sarah just walks under the arch.
There is not. And you watch, you're investigating, and you watch as Sari moves forward and disappears from sight. Not on the other side of the arch or anything.
Can I hear her?
Yes. Well, you can't hear her anymore.
I can't hear her. No. So for me, it's just like.
Yep.
Some sort of transportation magic. Is that a magic? That's a magic now. Transportation magic.
Where did Sari go?
Illusion. I think conjuration technically, or transmutation is teleportation. I have to check my map.
Your number 2 has seemed to disappear.
Magical Department of
I
Transportation.
hate when that happens.
That is not what I meant. Referring to
You're
your
running to the
lieutenant.
bathroom
That
and
is
all of a
called
sudden,
a ghost
number
poop.
2.
Yeah, a ghost poopy, I believe, is the proper name.
Gosh.
Body
conjuration.
language is my love
Yes.
language.
Not to be confused with ninja poops.
Oh, that is. Sari is just gone. I want to use divine sense to detect good and evil.
There doesn't appear to be any like beings of pure good around here. However, you get a very bad sense of foreboding coming from the archway. Not necessarily that there is evil like in the archway itself, but something beyond it is causing you to kind of get a little nervous, get a little.
I'm gonna pull up my
apprehensive.
pack and I'm gonna rummage through and I'm gonna find a piece of rope and I want to tie it to a tree that's
Okay.
like 50 feet, so like something within close distance.
Yep.
I'm gonna say, in case I don't come back, I will try and tug on this. If it doesn't let me through, whatever. Stay safe, and I'll walk through with the other end.
Okay. So you walk through. Victor disappears, and the rope just kind of hangs in the air. Just hangs there. There's this little ripple where where the rope is, where it kind of looks like it's almost disturbing something, some sort of illusion or some sort of wall that you guys can't see. And after a few minutes, you don't see any tugging or anything coming from Victor.
Ezra, friend, why don't you assist me in trying to determine what kind of magic this is?
I will cast ritually detect magic.
Can I
I'm gonna
assist?
just sit down
Can I give you
and
kind of
take a
assistance
minute.
with an arm?
Let me look
yeah.
at the rope.
We're on the other
You
side.
can reduce the time in half.
Melting in
By
acid
assisting
and
him
being
with the
attacked
ritual.
by
Okay.
electrodes.
He doesn't have to
I
toss
need
the
it?
basil; you just toss it at him instead.
I'm just mainly studying how the rope is distorting whatever magical barrier seems to be.
Do you want me to roll any kind of check?
Nope.
Or anything like that?
Nope, I think you guys working together is
Cool.
fine. After a few minutes, we actually they don't pop back or anything. So you guys we haven't gotten to yet. But you do open up your eyes and you do see conjuration magic permeating the arch itself. And now you can see clear indication of rune magic on each of the stones.
It's a doorway of sorts.
Do you know where it leads to?
Do I know where it leads to?
No.
Surprise.
I think we need to stick.
Seems safe. I'm gonna go in.
Okay,
It disappears.
let's go. I'm
All
not
right.
letting you out of my sight.
Okay.
Right
He
before
disappears.
Right before we go in, well, never mind. I'm good. I was going to undo the rope, but I decided not to. Bolt stands there for a second. Goes, nah.
So you step through, and you all appear to step through at the same time. No matter what time you entered in, you're all pretty much one right after the
I
other.
told you guys to wait for me.
We did. What?
For a moment there, I thought you might take a while and cast some ritual before you came in. I'm glad to know that you had me back.
It is dangerous and irresponsible to come through.
I am a
Does this-
vanguard.
Does
If
this feel
that's
like
what
time
I do.
magic?
Going.
I
I'm
guess by
always-
definition.
I'm always the first through the breach.
Says
There
the
was a
man
breach.
that just ran through with the rope on.
How about a 18?
You've been dealing with chronergy for a little bit now, studying it heavily, and this does feel like a little bit of time magic. Something suspended the rest of the party until you were here.
Something's wrong.
What is this place?
It's my home, says a voice. And then kind of all of these little magical lights start twinkling to life. And you find yourself in a little bit of a courtyard with 3 more archways. It's very it looks like a normal forest. There's still kind of that ruined feel to it. You can see that each of these archways is covered by a barrier, a magical barrier of a specific color. You've got a blue color on the left, and you can kind of see past it, and it leads off into this. It looks like the forest almost in winter, this snowy landscape. Straight ahead of you, it looks as if the forest is burnt, and it is behind an orange barrier. It is orange, right? Yes, and then off to the left, you see that the forest kind of goes away, and there's a more of a labyrinth look to the archway that has a purple barrier over it. Other than that, you've got kind of these twisting trees overhead. Again, these magical lights that almost just look like will-o'-the-wisps. They're kind of floating around.
So the one we just came through, does it have a barrier over it at this point?
What one?
So it's not there.
Mm-hmm.
So you turn around, and there's nothing.
There's nothing there.
Is he still attached to a rope?
Your rope actually just is limp now, and it has.
So it's like just.
Yep, you got about 10 feet of rope now.
Okay.
Yep, instead of 50. And then.
That was my favorite rope.
And I'm sorry, what behind the blue, what did the forest look like?
So behind the blue was winter.
Okay.
Behind the purple was a kind of labyrinth area. And then behind the orange was this burnt forest, almost charred black.
I say, and who are you?
Just a second. Sorry. I have a little bit more description. In the center of this courtyard, there are 3 pedestals that are kind of just sitting there, kind of in this, almost floating in this small, tiny koi pond-esque thing. And one of them has a pillar on it that has a teardrop. And the other 2 are empty. And then you can see what remains of a few dead mudmen, like the ones that you fought in 6 Hills. And you ask your question, who or what are you? And the voice says, the who is Glitterbug? And the what? And then you feel this kind of pressure on your shoulder moments before a fairy dragon comes into existence, smiling at you with draconic teeth. And she goes, is the guardian of the Sanctum. Hi.
Ooh.
First, we apologize for our abrupt intrusion into your sanctum.
Intrusion? No, you're adventurers, yes?
You could say that, yes.
Oh, then you're meant to be here. I haven't had adventurers in a long time.
I am gainfully employed. I'm not really an adventurer.
Sure.
You are currently on an adventurer.
Fair.
In fact, so that makes you an adventurer.
I like this one. And she jumps off of your shoulder and lands on Bolt's. And just kind of like crosses from one to the other as she examines. Oh, it's too cold for the claws, though. Then she goes over to Ezra. And she's going to land on your head. And you're bright.
Some days brighter than others.
Oh, and smart, too. So, I'm sorry. This is a really bad time, but maybe a good time. How can I help you?
We are here investigating the cause of some vibrations in the ground that have resulted in elementals, earth
These
elementals.
things right there.
Yes, the mudmen.
Oh,
You're a
The
mudman.
muddy
I told my friends to go out and get help, but they don't listen very well these days. And she jumps over onto your shoulder and she says, not since the darkness came.
What darkness?
Do you have time for a story?
Absolutely.
Always.
Perfect. And
I was just about to say that. Cole was just about yes.
Do I
Always.
smell the smell now at all?
yeah, you kind of do smell the faint smell of spices. And she says, about 2 years ago, I was just a happy little guardian helping young adventurers find their path and testing their mettle against the elemental creatures and guardians that live in the Hollowbend Sanctum, including the ones that apparently came to you. Then something happened, and she looks over at the orange archway, and she nods, and she says, in the burnt forest, and I'm not exactly sure what it is. I can't go there. But it definitely drove everything away, destroyed the guardian there, sadly, and now I can't have anyone really come here anymore. But you're here. Why are you here?
What kind of help do you need?
I need help killing whatever's in there. I think it's an aboleth.
Aboleth.
What is an aboleth?
It's an aboleth. It's a big fish thing. History checks from our historians.
23.
23.
You both are like, this isn't a good look. This is a
Oh shit.
aboleths are aberrations that come from somewhere beyond. They are very dangerous and they're very evil.
Big, nasty fish, tentacles, teeth, lots of biting.
And you say that it's in the burnt forest one.
I think so.
Is that where the mudmen came from?
Victor, give me an insight check. No, fire elementals live there. The mudmen usually take care of the sanctum itself.
19.
You kind of get this feeling that Glitterbug is being a little mischievous. She might not know exactly what's in there, but she's just telling you something.
I'll hold it
you
close
can
to the
do.
vest just to see if there's any other tells.
Yeah.
I'm basically just going to be trying to see if I can figure out what what Glitterbug's tells are as she's talking.
And the aboleth is,
As they are
she's
talking,
saying it's in the
burnt
orange,
forest.
in the burnt forest. Right?
they are talking.
Fish.
There. She. It is she.
Okay.
Have you seen an apple?
Not me personally, no.
It is. It's more tentacle than it is fish.
Wait, so I'm confused. The mud creatures, they're your friends?
Usually, unfortunately, they've been very upset lately. Ever since the guardians were, overrun.
And so they left here to attack other places in an area.
I told them to get help, but I think that they got lost along the way.
They seem very crazed and angry when we last encountered them. Anything you know about them that might make them angry?
Well, the darkness in the burnt forest has been doing all sorts of things to this place that makes it more dangerous than normal.
So darkness itself, will it affect us in the same way?
If you're here long enough, not really. If you're only here for however long you're here,
4
Unless you want to
hours
stay.
and 59 minutes.
54 minutes.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah. Actually, no. It probably took you more than it's probably about 45 minutes at this point.
4 hours and 45 minutes.
Ooh, and then the will-o'-the-wisps arrange themselves into a clock, and it starts counting down the time for you.
That makes me nervous. Now, what is this place exactly?
Yes. So the Hollowbend Sanctum tests your mettle and makes you kind of really make sure that you're ready for the adventures that lie ahead. So,
What is a practice arena of sorts?
of sorts, it's more of a proving ground for interested parties.
What happens if you're already metal? Just asking for a friend.
And she laughs. She actually laughs at that.
That was a joke. I got that one. It was good. Very funny.
So that is for the joke, and actually, this epic die for you and this one for Ezra are for the synchronized 23s. that was brilliant. So she says, if you pass the tests and make it to the forest and kill the aboleth, I will grant you a prize. And whatever you came here for. What was it that you came here for again? Just to find out what happened?
Can I do an insight check when they say
Well-
prize? Can I give you an insight check to see if this is a cake is a lie type situation?
Sure.
I rolled a 2. No.
It sounds like a prize.
I like prizes.
We were also looking for someone.
Oh. Not very many people come through here.
Gnomish woman.
Gnome, a chef of sorts.
Kind of snobby.
Oh, her. She kind of huffs a little bit, and you can see like a little bit of pink and purple mist kind of rise up from their nostrils. She was not very polite.
Yes.
So you saw her?
Where is she now?
The last I saw her was she was in, and she turns towards the purple archway, and she says she was in there, trying to get out of here as well. Oh, I should mention that the door won't open until you complete the dungeon.
The dungeon.
Just the nickname that I call it.
That's a very
Freudian slip. Yeah, that's a DM slip. That is a DM slip for sure.
The dungeon. Glitterbug.
Yes.
May I ask you, the protector that was in the burned forest?
Yes.
How do you know they're no longer there?
I can't feel them anymore. I can feel everything in the Hollowbend Sanctum.
And what was their name?
Ooh, wow. This is Cory saying, wow.
Let's take a pause for a moment. Go ahead.
I'm leaving that in. Could take a whole break for just.
Victor just goes, achoo!
Cracking open that jug of
rock
vodka
I came with.
or vodka. Embarrass.
Embarrass.
Yep.
And the protectors in the other forests, are they still?
Yes,
With
everyone
us?
else is still fine. I won't spoil their names for you, though.
Are,
Nice try.
are they like you, this fairy dragon?
No, they
sorts?
kind of vary. Not very.
And so the gnome went in through the purple door.
Well, I mean, first she started off as every adventure starts off, and then eventually, the last I saw her, she went through the purple archway.
How does every other adventure start off?
Well, that's the mystery, isn't it?
So you are telling us that the only way out of here is to prove ourselves
Mhm.
in the dungeon?
We'll call it the Sanctum. For ease of everybody's mind, it is the Sanctum.
This
Orange
sounds
door, then purple door.
If you feel that's the way to go.
This does not sound much harder than the chrysalis. Sounds much easier. Let's just get it over with.
Oh.
Rip the band-aid right off.
Hold on just 1 second.
The threat of death
You said
makes
there's
you grow.
pedestals. Three
Yes,
pedestals.
there are
One with a
three
teardrop on it.
There's three like stone pedestals floating in this koi pond, and one of them has a stone column that has a teardrop on it,
Like
Those
etched
were
into
empty?
it?
etched into it. Yeah,
Okay.
the other two are empty.
Etched into it. Okay.
I would like to go over to that.
Okay.
And look at it. Maybe do an Arcana check. See if
Okay.
I can figure out.
Do you keep your hands off of it for now, or do you actually touch it?
For now, I'm going to play it cautious
Okay.
and just do an Arcana check without touching
Okay.
it first.
You're still active. Your detect magic. You are seeing a slight aura of illusion magic coming off of this. And go ahead and roll me your Arcana check.
I'll relay to you that there's illusion magic
Ezra.
in play.
I cannot see
I'm
him in the
gonna
water.
use-
Is there anything dangerous?
Is there anything in the water? Just koi fish?
Yes, but they're very colorful koi fish. Like, almost like-
13.
Rainbow colored koi fish.
13.
All right.
Yeah, you definitely sense that there is something magical here. It definitely connects to giving you passage through the archways.
It's a
So
portkey.
only one has a symbol on it, and
Mhm.
only, she said, one door at a time, basically.
Yes, you have to go down one.
Does the symbol match on the archway?
There is no symbol on the archways.
No symbol on the
Nope, they just have the barrier over there.
I want to try to sort of just ask in my mind to the Choir of the Crags to see if they could give any guidance here. So I mean, I'm just like, what do you think, Craggy? This is me in my head.
So there's a few moments of silence, and you get a discordant message, almost like the harmony is not as it should be, almost as if there's two factions kind of warring with one another within the choir that are trying to get your attention at once. But what comes out is nothing.
A different rhythm.
Yeah, it's almost like there's this weird undertone that's trying to swell up but the other part of the harmony is pushing it down. So you're not going to get any help from the choir.
Okay. I just turn to Eve and say, well, the choir doesn't seem to be offering any help as far as direction goes. It doesn't look like we have a lot of choice.
I'm gonna reach out and touch the pillar.
Okay. So you touch the pillar and
Not just like, it's just gonna be more like, place my hand.
Yep. So you place your hand on the pillar, and immediately you all watch as a blue glow encompasses Bolt from head to toe, kind of until he's kind of just surrounded in this nimbus of blue energy.
If I take my hand away, does it disappear?
Nope.
Bolt, you are looking a little more blue.
I like that color on you, Bolt.
It does go well with the copper, doesn't it? And I actually want to walk over to the blue archway.
Okay.
Since it's the only similar color, and I want to.
So you actually don't see the blue barrier anymore.
Oh.
You just see the path forward.
Whoa.
As you kind of look over, you also look over and you see the purple archway has a red barrier.
What about is the orange one?
The orange one's still orange.
It's orange. There's no more barrier on that archway.
You all see.
We also have
Yep, you all see barriers.
I believe
clearly
there is.
a barrier. Hold on, I'll touch it as well.
Yep. Again,
This was just the teardrop one?
Yeah.
blue.
Yeah, it's the only one that was there.
I see
And
what
what's
you mean, Bolt.
And if you look at the purple one, or what was purple, red is usually not a good color.
It seems
Alright.
like the mixing of colors.
I'm like, speak for yourself.
Well, when it comes to magic, I should clarify.
Oh,
You're very beautiful.
Is she a
Thank you.
redhead? I didn't know.
You couldn't tell by her attitude and her voice.
I thought she was blonde, okay?
That was
Sorry.
a slander against gingers.
Third
We love
degree
you.
dice in many minutes. Yes.
Glitterbug, if we do not go through the, what did you call it?
Archway. The Sanctum. The Sanctum.
Yes.
Definitely
I
not
was
dungeon.
thinking
Dungeon.
We don't go through the sanctum and the series of tests that you have for us. Is there no way out?
Not really.
So we're stuck here.
Yeah, until you complete it.
What is it that these two have touched?
It's like the crystal.
We're very glowy now.
Did you walk through the archway?
I put my hand through it, like just as a test first,
Okay.
right?
Yeah. Yep. Nothing happens.
Okay, then I want to
she
take a step forward.
She says, "Well, that's the mystery, isn't it? I think it's time for me to observe." And she just fades away.
All right,
Leader.
leader, fearless
Yeah,
leader.
you-
I want to take a step. I'm going to
How
take
do
a step
we-
through.
How do we proceed? Oh, Bolt.
As soon as Bolt steps through the archway,
This is so fascinating.
the miasma disappears. You can still turn around. You can see there's no barrier on the archway, but you're no longer glowing blue.
I hear footsteps. I'll follow him, but I have not touched the pillar.
Okay, so Victor steps through the archway, and I need you to roll me something.
Oh no! You don't have the magic token.
I know.
Give me a
Give me the key.
Constitution saving throw, please.
This is some magical cybersecurity.
Yeah, this is the equivalent of a firewall in Aneria.
That would be a 7.
A 7. Okay, so you take 5 cold damage, and then you all watch as he disappears and reappears in the center of the room next to the pillars, shivering cold.
Vicky, we need to touch the pillar.
What was that?
Victor, let me guide
He
you.
walked
I'm
through.
gonna grab your hand and make sure you touch it.
Okay.
You forgot a key piece.
All right.
I.e.
Sorry.
The key.
I thought he opened the door or something. I was sorry.
It seems this is the only way.
Touch it.
Yep.
Go through.
Blue, dubba-dee-dubba-die. Okay.
Oh dear.
That was good.
I got some blue.
You should get one of
blue
these for
in
you
that.
now.
Oh, thank you.
Blue is the color.
Don't give the DM luck dice. It was too good of a joke. Yes, you have to reward
So
it.
just beyond the blue archway, the temperature drops and the air becomes frigid despite the current season, which is fall technically. So not too much of a difference. The ground cracks as the frost beneath your feet gives way to your steps. Not like cracks, like ice.
Crunch, that
And
crunchy sounds.
the winding path is blocked on both sides by curved trees covered in white snow and frozen solid. There's only one path forward, so I'm just going to assume you guys follow it.
Yes. I'll take point.
Yeah, go ahead and set up the marching order really quick just so I know.
I'll go in the back.
Yeah, I'll go just behind him, I suppose.
Put Victor in the middle.
Yeah. I'd like to stand by Ezra.
Okay, perfect. Alrighty. And as you guys are leaving, you
Congo.
Glitterbug say, "Have fun in Snowland."
I'm not dressed for this.
This is wild. There's very little snow in an area that I've seen.
That's true for all of you.
I want to pop some of the
Even in the mountains.
I'm excited about it.
to make sure I don't get too cold.
Of course, yeah. For like 5 minutes, you're warmer, and then it goes away. Right? So after about 10 minutes of following down the winding path, you can no longer see the archway. And as you travel along, Glitterbug's voice echoes through the forest. And she says, "Ice and frost, found and lost. Lovers turn to hate. Furs and fangs, silky manes. Peace is far too late. Win the war, to best the floor, and free them from their state."
I scoop up a bunch of snow and just throw it at Bolt. Just for fun.
Okay. And
Like, snowball fight! Nobody? Anybody? Fine.
What kind of war, I'm assuming?
I don't know about that. I want a sleight of hand, grab one, and then pelt where I think I heard him or her last.
okay. You're a knife dancer. I'm not gonna make you roll for it. Yeah, you pelt him with the snowball.
And I'm just gonna,
Hurt.
I'm just gonna like just.
So there should be a new thing in the
I'm
Aneria
gonna look
assets
around,
portion
like,
of,
looking for the dragon.
Our riddle.
Looking for the fairy
Yeah, you
dragon.
can see the riddle / rhyme. So, yeah.
Awesome.
Those and tails and
You do spot the fairy dragon every now and then. At one point, she tries to throw a snowball at you too. She
Okay,
sees
good.
you having fun.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and hit her as soon as I see her.
Yeah. So go ahead and we'll just do opposing checks here. Go ahead and roll just like a dexterity.
15.
You nail her right in the wing, and she has
Nice.
to you can see her shake it off really quick before she disappears laughing.
I giggle, but I'm just like,
Thank you.
you tried to trick us.
That was a good one too. I like that.
Thank you.
Yeah, a little bit of fun. Okay. Eventually, the winding path opens up into a small clearing that comes into view, revealing a single frozen tree and a single humanoid figure dangling from that tree.
Dangling like.
Not hung. It does look like they have been strung up by what appears to be white silk. Or rather, webbing, yes.
Okay. Are they like?
It's not like a cocoon.
Okay.
It kind of looks like they're almost like marionetted up, and they're just kind of dangling there. You're a bit far away to be able to see specifically
if
what they
there's
look like.
signs of life or
Just
anything?
I'm channeling a little Strahd in here. Right?
Okay. Yeah, I want to approach and
Okay.
and get a closer look.
So as you approach, the snowy mounds around the tree shift a little bit, and these white eight legs come out of each of these snowy piles, and they kind of bring up. And the one on the left, as these two spiders kind of shake off the snow, says, "State your business."
We're looking for a gnome.
Gnome? And they look between each other. What is a gnome?
Well, it's like me, but a little shorter.
You're already pretty short to begin with.
That's what my mom always said.
Is there anything to stealth behind?
There are a couple rocky.
I want to see if I can hide from them.
Sure. Yeah, go ahead and roll a stealth check.
Can I get a better look at whatever it is?
Yeah. So this appears to be a human.
Okay.
They have a rather large pack on their back, and they have kind of torn cloth clothing, and you can see kind of on the ground beneath them are a couple more of these kind of like jars of spices and stuff that have been smashed open.
I don't know, Evie, what was it about something lovers win the war? Are we supposed to fight you?
Are you with the enemies? And they both like crouch down a little bit. And it's at this point that you hear the howling of wolves. And the two of them quickly like look between and they say, are you with them? And they start backing up a little bit, getting way more defensive.
Stop. No. We're not with them.
Roll your persuasion, would you?
Yeah. I'm 17.
17? Okay, they say, you're not with them? Then you better prove it. And as they say that, you guys see snarling wolves start coming out. And again, like pure white fur, very winter wolf look, coming out of the forest. And they say, death to the traitor queen, before they start like charging at these spiders.
And is this like 2 wolves or lots of wolves?
Let me tell you how many wolves it is.
I mean, I kind of would rather be on the side of wolves than spiders, but
Unless they're wolves.
they seemed kind of nice.
I think if I had to pick an ally in a fight, I'd take the spiders.
There are 3 wolves.
Okay.
There are 3 wolves inside.
I'm not quite sure who them are, but do we fight? I've got my spear and
Yeah, the spiders
Just
are
keep my
definitely
magic ready.
In the thing, didn't it say something about help them win the war? Was it?
Yeah, it says,
It
so
said
first of all, it says,
fur.
Furs and fangs, silky manes, peace is far too late. Win the war to best the floor and free them from their state. So it sounds like maybe they're stuck in this state of combat or, continual...
Or is it referring to the person who's stuck in the tree?
Possibly, yeah. Win the war.
So are you guys going to stand off to the side, or are you going to engage with one side or the other?
I don't know, because I'm a little suspicious of the person strung up in the spider web. I mean, not suspicious of them. Suspicious of the
traitor
spiders
queen.
who have...
You just have PTSD from the last time you freed somebody.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like we should watch this play out and try and free the person while they're fighting.
Would you like me to try and do so stealthily? I mean, earlier my attempt was like on the snow.
Oh, I probably should mention, just in case, the person hanging is very much dead.
Oh.
I apologize. That
You're
was
not gonna
not
free
clear
them.
enough.
So they're not moving.
They are
frozen.
very frozen. They are
Okay.
very much a corpse that has been here for a while.
Scratch that idea.
You want me to investigate the
just to make it easier on everybody.
Let me just, like, before a fight breaks out, if I can,
Yeah.
I'd like to say, was this person traveling with anyone, and why did you kill it?
And the spiders are like, quit distracting us. The traitors come. And they're rushing forward now, trying to, you can see like one of them rearing back and he webs one of the wolves back, but another wolf kind of rushes out of the forest that seemed to be holding in reserve, and they seem to be ganging up on one of the 2 spiders that was talking to you.
I don't know what side to pick.
Well,
Don't like the ganging up on.
How can we get more information?
can I want to do an insight check. I want to do a gut check
Okay.
to say, like, does it sound like one or the other feels honorable in what they're doing?
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Would that be insight?
Yeah.
19, 11, 12.
It's very unclear to see if any side really has a leg to stand on at this point. I mean, one side does have 8 legs to stand on,
This one has
but that
more
is
legs
not.
to stand on.
But it doesn't seem like either side is particularly noble in their ambitions. They all just seem to want to rip each other to pieces.
I feel like there's more of a story to this person, and we'll probably get more information should they.
Well,
Spiders.
these spices, do they smell like the ones from the caravan?
Can I?
Yes.
So the spiders smell like the caravan.
No, the spices.
The spice on the ground.
Yeah,
On
the
the ground.
spices.
Under
Yes.
the hanging. Yeah.
How many wolves?
There are technically there's 4. One of them is webbed out now. Yeah.
They have
Yes,
the same
this-
amount of legs, technically.
Darn, that doesn't help at all.
This is the closest thing we have to information is from those spiders.
I do smell the spices here. Something's not right.
If they attacked if they attacked the companion of the chef that we're looking for, then it makes me think that these spiders can't be trusted.
Unless that was a pursuer.
I'm gonna run up and knock a wolf.
And they
Off a
saved
wolf
his
spider.
life.
All right.
Just another
let's
point.
Like
of view.
Peacekeeper?
Go ahead and
Bolt
roll
made the decision
initiative.
for us.
Okay.
All right.
You're punching a wolf?
Everybody.
I am trying to like use a shield and knock the wolf off.
Oops. Oh yeah. Thanks.
Often the dance is chaos. Revel in it.
Would I still have my mage armor from?
8 hours ago?
It lasted 8 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's still
Yep.
okay.
Because we left pretty expeditiously.
Oh,
it was
wait.
like-
I used the barrier. I didn't cast mage armor myself because there were those
oh, a shield.
just a car
Right,
shields.
Oh, okay.
Shoot. Okay. Just
Torrey,
kidding.
I am sorry for just running in without consulting Eve. But Bolt just sees jars of spices on the ground, a person strung up with spider silk, and is like, those spiders have information we need. So I'm going to try to keep them alive.
Also, we're
Or-
new to the group.
I
Technically.
don't know. I mean, go for it.
He just
We'll
yells,
just what
see
my
if
character
she
would
holds
do.
a grudge.
I just yell, sorry, Eve, and I run in and.
It's going to be another Avengers thing where we're like on our Civil War.
All right, Scott. Mark the wolves for me.
Sure.
Green.
Guess what? There's no Arcana
Blue.
around.
Yeah, baby.
And orange.
Unless the dragon's part of the Arcana.
Oh, that would suck. Little.
Hey, we'll find out shortly. For the text you.
All right. Let's switch over to the battle camp.
It's gonna be awesome.
We are.
We're good. That okay.
Ezra, give me your initiative, please.
26.
26. Wow.
Dang.
Victor.
19.
19. That was the same you had last time.
Yep.
Seredan.
14.
14. Eve.
8.
8. And Bolt.
Cheat.
8. That was the same you had last time, too.
Darn, I was hoping at least 9. Gotta go up 1 every time.
So the first up is... So the first action that gets taken is Bolt rushes forward and you just shield check this wolf that looked like it was on the spider. Actually, I did say they were ganging up. Can you move the blue wolf to that same spider, please? Thank you. So that is the first thing that happens, and then the wolves kind of see you with a little bit more hostility, but they are still fighting the spiders wholeheartedly. Ezra, it is your turn first.
Okay, I'm gonna cast mage armor on myself.
I thought you already had it.
No, I use the
Shield.
the shields that the people set. So, cast mage armor on myself, basically just sheathed in some orange magic, and I'm gonna go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25.
So Ezra
30.
backs
Get-
up.
Get behind Victor.
Ezra backs up behind Victor.
And I'm assuming the spiders don't try and attack me as okay.
Nope.
Cool.
Okay. Anything else that you'd like to do?
Nope, that's it.
Okay. Can mage armors in
I'll just put my arm on Victor so he knows I'm right there. So he doesn't accidentally
And
stab me with a knife.
I'll basically like, have my daggers drawn and be like, I will protect you.
The fourth wolf is going to spend his turn trying to rip himself free from the webbing. And you just did a moon druid build. What's the DC for webbing? It's like 12, isn't it?
Or 13?
12 and 13? I guess I probably just go.
Yeah, I looked at a spider, but it was just an honorable mention. I don't remember.
I think it's 12 or 13.
Oh, you forgot one. Okay.
Thanks.
Do you have any concentration? You don't
Nope.
do?
Just daggers.
It is a 12. So yes, he does rip through with his action, and then he'll use his move to stand up and then move to the other spider, the one on the right. Yep.
Right there?
Yep. He's got enough movement to get there. And one spider, please. Thank you.
Atticus.
And then it is Victor's turn.
Alright. I am hearing the commotion, I can't see it yet.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw my comrade's probably the one that's I'm more concerned with than the spiders.
Okay.
So
You have a general idea of the direction that he's in.
So I'm going to throw Shadow Song
Okay.
in that direction as a disadvantaged attack to try and hit the orange or is it red?
Red wolf.
Red wolf.
Red wolf is my bolt.
So disadvantage. So that's not going to hit. It's 5, that's 6. And I don't think I have that. And then plus 5. 10. Yeah. 10 to hit.
Just check.
Pretty sure natural armor is not.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Cool.
Yeah, so that's a miss.
So,
but you do have
At least be able to see him at that
you
point.
do have blind sight
So
on
I'll
that
say,
line.
Shadow Song, let me see. Show me the way.
Okay. And it goes whistling overhead. The wolves kind of like crouch down a little bit, which is probably what causes it to miss, is that wolf crouches down.
Okay.
And then it is. You have any movement you want to do?
I told Ezra I would protect him.
Okay.
So I will. I'll step forward a little, but I'm not going to go much further.
Okay.
5, 10, right there.
You move up right behind that spider.
Save it.
On your list.
Okay. So the
Say it.
the orange wolf was the first one to go. The green wolf is next. And the green wolf is going to make an attack roll with advantage because he has pack tactics against the spider. Did I just roll? No, I thought I just rolled 2 natural ones. Instead, I rolled a 4. So that is a miss against it. Okay, perfect. And then the blue wolf goes next. He's going to do the same thing to that spider. And misses again. Switching dice.
Does the blue wolf have pack tactics since it's not
Yes.
right next to one?
It is as long as another wolf is within
5 feet.
or another ally.
Oh, in 5 feet of the
5 feet
creature.
of the-
Gotcha. Cool.
And then the red wolf is going to go, and it's actually going to snarl and attack Bolt. And it says, "Stay out of this, outsider." But he doesn't have. Moving on. That was, for anybody who wants to keep track, that was a 1, a 4, a 4, a 3, and a 2. For my attack rolls. Yay! Don't cheer for that!
Hey, you have
I always
epic dice.
cheer when RNG goes in our favor.
And then it is Seredan's turn.
Okay. I'm gonna run up to this blue one and just say, "Why are you fighting?" As I try and poke him with a spear.
Stop fighting!
So yeah, I'm just gonna
Whack! We don't hit!
make an attack. 16.
16 will hit.
Okay. For 9 damage.
Nice. Okay.
And then I'm going with my butt action. It's 21 to hit.
21 will hit.
For I think butt action needs to be a t-shirt.
But action never failed you.
It's 7 damage.
Just
yeah,
a peach.
So you kind of quickly slice with the spear upwards. The wolf kind of rears back, and then you just bring the butt down and smack it on the side of the head, and it collapses. Okay. First blood, indeed. And then it is Eve's turn. As actually, in answer to your question, Seredan, the red wolf is going to shout and say, "They attacked our king!" And the spiders go, "Your king killed our princess!"
This is a mess.
I don't like getting involved in local politics, but
And then you actually hear one of the wolves say, "It was our princess too!"
Okay.
There's a whole side novel that I've written.
There's
I
a
guess.
spider wolf princess?
Yikes.
A wolf spider.
Yeah, they prefer
Oh.
wolves.
Oh.
Yeah, you know what? Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it is more like a spider wolf. No. Even it's your turn.
Okay, so I will move around to this
Okay.
and
Yeah, we could.
just gonna attack
Well done.
with my longsword. What has been really good? That's fine. 17. to hit.
17 will hit.
Okay.
Roll me that sweet, sweet damage. Is this against green or orange?
Orange.
Okay.
8 damage.
8 damage. Okay.
And
Okay. Yep. So you deliver a good slice onto the wolf, but Eve does not take it out. It is just
Okay.
a wounded wolf. Bolt.
I'm actually going to thorn whip the wolf in front of me.
Okay.
So Bolt whips their arm down, and you hear this chain come rolling out from like inside of their arm, and the chain itself has got like barbed wire running through it.
Nice.
And he whips it down on top of the wolf.
Sorry.
This belongs in a museum.
Bolt does, that's for sure.
19.
19 will hit. Good rolls tonight, guys. Good rolls.
For 6 damage.
6 damage on red. Okay.
Yup. Piercing damage.
Yep.
And if it was farther away, it would be pulled. It would double 10 feet. But
Yeah, you definitely whip along its flank and it lets out a yipe and kind of tries to dance away.
don't make it do the
Oh,
the
it
dog
definitely
noise.
does the
Oh, I
standard
hate that.
like wounded dog noise, even though it's a
even though it's
vicious
evil.
wolf. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's like
Every
let's
movie ever.
Let's put hellhounds in our movie, but make them sound like puppies getting kicked. It's
Uh-huh.
like, no.
I don't want to root for
I
hellhound.
don't like yeah, exactly.
Well, actually, I do. I am the DM. Ezra, it is your turn.
All right, I'm going to push up right against the tree to try and get some cover in case that red wolf.
Yeah, there's a tree and a dead body. You got plenty of cover.
Okay.
Use some dead
And then I will launch out a magic missile at the orange wolf that Eve is fighting.
Oh, okay.
So I will.
Are you just going to do all 3 bolts to that one wolf, or spread
actually,
out?
sorry, I'm going to do a fireball.
You're just going to do fire.
Yeah, and I'm just going to send out some orange
I wish
flames.
sometimes the magic missile was just a cantrip. Like it feels
Yeah,
like a
it feels like it
cantrip,
could be. Yeah.
so- Okay,
So
Automatic
that
hit.
will be
3d4 plus 3.
17 to
Let's
hit.
go.
17 will hit.
For
Back in 4th edition, big drink. It
5
was a cantrip. Or it was an epic spell.
5 damage.
5 damage. Okay, actually enough. Yep. So you
Sweet.
you hit it and it yipes and its face is all like its fur is all burnt and everything as you take it out.
Cool. That's it.
Perfect. And then that wolf was the next to go, so it's actually Victor.
Alright, now that I can see the spider, I want to do some fancy footwork and just kind of like try and do a crouching tiger type bob, jump over it to get to the other side where my blade hit. And as I scoop it up, I'm going to
Actually, as you land and reach down, the blade itself pops into your hand. And that's never happened for you before.
Nice.
So he'll take a moment,
The blade itself.
and then he'll
Joe
say,
Abercrombie.
"You did well, Shadow Song." And then I'm going to throw. I'm gonna throw clinge, bite clinge, and it's going to be a 16 hit
Are you throwing
at the red. I'm basically I'm not throwing, but like slashing.
Okay.
Around.
16 will indeed hit.
Okay. And it's within 5 feet, so I get my sneak attack. 8, 9, 10, 11. That's 11 damage. Slashing.
Yep. You slash along the flank and take out the wolf.
Yeah.
And I'm still just kind of a little bit dumb, befuddled. That, what just happened?
And then it is. There's only one wolf left, isn't there?
Green.
Green is going to just take a look at everything, and he's going to make a break for it to the woods. So he's going to get an opportunity attack if you'd like to take one.
Absolutely.
Okay. And the spider will also take an opportunity
Bring
attack.
him down. Bring him
20?
down.
20 will hit.
Yeah.
Continuing with my trend, I rolled a 5 to hit.
That's 11.
11 damage is exactly what you need.
Nice.
Nice.
Good
Yeah.
job.
So it turns to run, the spider kind of lunges and misses, and you just, boom, take out the legs.
Nice.
Yep.
Well done.
And the spiders who look a little worse for wear go, "You are friends. Thank you for your assistance."
Now, we want some answers.
Of course, we'd be happy to assist you. How can we help?
We need the whole story. What's going on? A shared princess? Who killed who?
Who's this guy hanging out?
Yeah.
We were attacked by him and some of the wolves earlier. We were able to beat them off, and while the other of our troop went to go get reinforcements, we strung him up as a warning to anyone else hoping to ward them off, or at least trap them if they got too close. As far as the full story, our queen and king used to live together in harmony, but one day they grew into an argument over the proper upbringing of their daughter. And unfortunately, the traitorous king killed her in a rage and cursed everyone.
Who was this witnesses to this? Was there anybody there first account, or is this hearsay?
This is the story that's always been told.
For how long?
And they kind of like look at each other and they say, for as long as we've been alive.
And Mr. Puppet Man, did he have anybody with him?
There were 2 others, but they were able to leave.
They looked like him, perhaps smaller.
One was as tall, the other was small, yes.
They left
With the wolves?
or what was their...
They ran off into the forest and they point down the path. The only other
I
path
see.
out here.
I see. You consider them enemies? Or
Yes.
fugitives? All right.
You say you were cursed. How so?
The original denizens of the kingdom were cursed. We were just born after. But they were turned into, and they kind of like, shift a little bit. These, us.
You used to be elves? Humans?
We were always spiders.
Your...
The queen. What was the queen? And they kind of like look at each other like they almost don't remember. They don't have any sort of clue on what they possibly were beforehand.
And what of the princess?
Long dead, buried.
Where?
And they kind of like look at each other almost as if they're not quite sure where exactly. And then almost in unison they point off into a direction deeper into the woods that you guys really can't access. It looks like it's just kind of way too brambly, and they say,
Gotcha.
Neutral ground. No one goes there anymore.
Well, perhaps we should follow the trail. At least we didn't leave any.
I should clarify. I don't have you on rails. If you do want to try, it's going to take a lot of effort to break through towards this this grave site, but the trail is more open.
So
We're here for Einor.
Yeah.
are these all the wolves? You say you've done this for a long time. Are there more that we need to be worried about?
Many more. If you wish to aid in our quest to destroy them completely, continue down the path. After the flowers, you should be able to get to our queen.
Would there
Do not take the right path. That would lead you directly into enemy territory.
This seems like this fight has no honor. What is their way to make atonement for this
You
wrongdoing?
dare question our honor? And they kind of like rear up a little bit in that kind of very spidery, like I got my mandibles and upper legs up approaching you.
I question that you're not being manipulated by another person.
We serve our queen loyally and with honor.
And her alone?
And her alone.
Perhaps we will pay a visit to your queen. Is she in good health?
She is. And they quickly, one of them quickly like spins up just what looks like almost a handkerchief, right? With a weird symbol that is pretty illegible.
Illegible.
Macabre. And they hand it to you and they said, present this to her and she will know that you are allies.
Does
I
this...
put it in my pocket.
This
Make it all
queen,
nice and
does she have
Silk
a
handkerchief.
A silk handkerchief.
Does she have a surname that we might call her by?
She is just known as the
Or
Winter
honorific.
Queen these days.
Winter Queen.
Winter Queen. Good.
Your Majesty will do fine.
Fair.
Well,
Let's go meet the Winter Queen.
So, I say we head out.
yeah,
We are on the clock.
Can you
don't
still...
go right.
Looking up at the clock,
Left.
you have like about 4 hours 30 minutes now.
Can you still smell the spices on the trail?
I smell it here. Do I smell it?
It's kind of just congregating around here. It's hard to tell if
It's muddled. I'm not a bloodhound. But as much as I'd like to be at this time.
I've been impressed with your ability to use your other senses thus far.
Well,
Thank you.
let's follow the trail then.
Yeah. As we're walking, I'll walk up next to you and go, Miss Eve, I'm terribly sorry for jumping the gun. As you know, I've been around for quite a while, and generally speaking, it's better to just take action and deal with the consequences a little bit later than it is to, especially when it comes to political matters. But,
these are bullets lessons that you should not take to heart at home.
How have you survived 75 years?
He stayed out of politics.
Right?
yeah, you either stay out of them completely or you just
pick a side.
It's quite all right, Bolt.
I will attempt to be better in the future. I apologize.
Sure. That's fine. And where did that whip, that chain come from?
Oh, this whoosh.
Impressive.
I made it back while we were in the inn, the Bull's Whistle. And my room had a workbench, and as well as my mace treats me, and I pat old Macy.
Put it down. You're gonna forget the name of your weapon.
I thought that I would like something a little more extension of myself, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
It just kind of felt right.
Well, I like it.
Thank you.
Eve wants to remember, what did the trio tell her she would find here?
An item that looks surreal, very out of place in the world.
Well, I mean, a dragon fairy, but I guess that's not an item.
Yeah, I did say that dragons are unheard of. Like, nobody's seen a dragon in recorded history, as far as you guys know. But fairy dragons are like a lesser species, almost like kobolds.
Gotcha.
Right? Like, there are kobolds, and you can clearly see that there's draconic influence.
So it's like a dragonfly?
It's sort of like a dragonfly. It's got butterfly wings, though, rather than regular fly.
Very mischievous.
Oh, yes.
I'm gonna, I guess, pull best I can aside, out of earshot from the spiders and say,
Okay. I'm assuming you guys are continuing down the path at this point.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you are
okay,
out of
okay.
earshot. They did not follow you.
So what is our plan? Should we be at ends with this queen?
Well, if it seems to me that the chef, whatever her name is, was with the wolves, unless there was another humanoid, a short humanoid that was.
Fair.
But if so, they said not to go to the right because that's where the wolves were. Well, if she's with them, she's probably that direction.
I thought Cory said that they just ran off. Not
No,
with the
just
wolves,
ran
but
off.
just ran
Right,
off.
but they did say that
They attacked.
the enemies don't go to the path on the right because that's the land of the enemies.
Yes.
But the dragon fairy did tell us that the elevator was in the purple place.
I don't trust anything that
That's true.
Well,
There's a light little laugh that tinkles through the air.
I feel that I have to be straight with you. If I don't feel that this is an honorable thing, and perhaps the only way to solve this conflict, the father is dead, the daughter is dead, perhaps if she dies, then this will all resolve itself. There will no longer be a point of contention.
Are you
Suggesting yes, to
assassination?
kill the queen.
Should the opportunity get me out of this place, I would not be beneath me.
Just remember,
I would
This is
tell
a
her that
test.
I would kill her beforehand, mind you. It would not be cloak and dagger in the back. I will stand on.
this is supposed to be a test of our mettle, per se. So perhaps we must act in honor.
Well, we are also supposedly supposed to end the war. Perhaps eliminating the powers that be would do just that.
There's no longer a need to fight if no one survives.
There's a vacuum for power.
Plus all the XP that there is to gain.
But
What-
we're
what
on the
is XP?
milestone system
Just saying.
Well,
until level 3. It doesn't matter.
Concluding that,
Metagame pigeons all fly away at the same time.
I was going to say, regardless, we need to pick a path. whether it's help with this conflict or focus on getting Ainur.
I will not stand there. I will not go out of line, but I just want to be straight with you that is going. It is on my mind.
Certainly.
All right. Anything else? Sorry.
No.
So you say pick a path, but there's only been one path so far.
Not literally.
I know.
Just
Segway, Scott. And it
Segways?
opens up into another small clearing, and you see 4 plants sit in the center of this room. They're kind of like large plants. One of them looks almost like, I guess, honeysuckle, kind of like that long tube plant, almost like a hose head. One of them looks...
A Victor Bell?
Hmm?
You're talking about like a Victor Bell?
Like the Pokemon?
Hmm?
That's another one. There is one that looks like that.
Okay.
That looks almost like a Venus flytrap.
Okay.
There is one that looks like it's just dripping with nectar. And then there is one that looks like a white bell sort of flower. And it's kind of hanging, the stem kind of curves around and it's hanging there. And they're very large plants, and in the center of them, you see another humanoid figure. He is facing the north, which is the Venus flytrap plant. And he is completely made of stone. And then there is also a small wooden sign that reads in common and says, "Some plants spray toxins, others secrete love. Some trap the body, while others ring the flavors of the divine." I'll send it to you guys too.
Alright.
And then there is another, there's 2 other trails, one on the left, one on the right, leading out of this room.
We said don't take the one on the right.
Well, unless we want to
Kill
go.
the wolves.
Right.
What should we do?
Does it seem like the person who's... You said the person, they're like stone?
Yes.
And they're specific... Are they like reaching out for the Victor Bell?
It looks like they have recoiled from that plant.
Okay.
And have turned to stone.
Okay.
Don't touch that thing. Is there a purpose for these? Can we just ignore them?
I don't. If one secretes love, what if we put some on a spider and some on a wolf and then call it a day?
You know, that's not a bad idea.
But which one secretes love?
I'm assuming the sticky, drippy one that's secreting stuff.
The nectar.
Yeah, let's see. You said that to us. Cory.
Yep. So to kind of give you an idea, the Venus flytrap is the one that is on the northern part of this.
And that's the one that it was
that's
the statue was turned towards.
The western face is the one that's dripping with nectar.
Okay.
The eastern one is the one that looks like a white bell, and the southern plant is the one that looks like a hose.
Okay. Well, I want to just approach the white bell one, and just like take Craggy actually, and just sort of lightly tap it.
You can hear a gentle ringing coming from within as it kind of sways back and forth against the motion that you caused, and it's kind of like a divine tinkling. The harmony picks up with it. Again, it's been very discordant still as you've been fighting, but they do spend a moment to pick up with that harmony. It's like, oh look, harmonizing time, you know.
So that might be the one that rings with the flavor of the
Yes,
divine.
that's my thought.
You think the nectar is a love potion?
Who wants to drink?
Okay.
For science.
I don't want to be the first thing he sees. I'm moving.
So make me a charisma saving throw, please.
You're gonna be charmed by a plant.
Oh no! Natural one.
You're now a tree.
For science! I'm gonna die.
You gotta find out which plants are poisonous.
So go ahead and roll me a d4 to see who you look at first before you become under this effect.
3.
It is in fact Victor. You
I'm
look
trying
at
to
Victor,
stealth away.
and it is not. It's not
Like
so much like.
brotherly love.
Yeah, it's just like you see him, and you would do anything to make sure that your
Yeah.
family is safe.
Bro,
You know,
have I told you how much, how important you are to this party?
so
I mean, seriously. Look how good you are in a fight.
so for the next hour, you are charmed.
Okay.
You will do whatever Victor says, and in addition to that, basically, like you won't take actions unless Victor commands them.
Oh,
of you.
man. Okay.
I don't.
Unless-
I'm not cut out
unless
to
you-
be.
This is
Besides.
technically a disease. or
Do you
poison.
have any extra vials or anything in your tinker, whatever, wizard pack? Can we take? Do we have a container?
Who might have
I don't.
I have an
Someone-
alchemist kit,
Yep.
which I would assume
Yeah.
probably has.
You got
Yep.
beakers and
I have
stuff.
10 feet of rope. If I soaked it in it, would then become like a
a love
are now-
a love whip?
Wow.
Whoa, Dungeon
Not
Master
that way,
needs
casting.
something else now.
I'm not going to allow this, but I will give you an epic dice in exchange. I'll let you collect one vial of
It might come in handy. I'm not sure.
love plant nectar. Let's just call it that.
Love sap.
Love sap.
Love
Sap.
sap.
Baby love sap. Perfect.
Why are we not all just bards?
I know, right?
No, we are 6 bards pretending to be other classes.
Yes, exactly.
Bard life.
Love
Bard
sap,
life.
baby.
That's life.
Well, okay, so I suppose this one that turned apparently this guy to stone and looks a bit like a Venus flytrap, though I don't know what a Venus flytrap is. I'm guessing is the one that traps the body, and this hose-looking one probably sprays toxins. So I don't know.
Should we?
I don't know what we do with it. Could we free this stone creature? Does it look? Is there any sort of sign
Solid stuff.
that he might have been part of the party?
Yes, actually, he is wearing a very similar pack to
Okay.
what the other one was wearing, bulging with jars of spices that look to be petrified along with it.
Does anyone have a way to
I fall on my knees.
get rid of magic, magical spells, or free someone from being petrified?
For science, I'm gonna push him into the thing, the Venus flytrap.
The
and see if it
stone?
grabs it. The stone guy.
It didn't expect that. It crushes the Venus flytrap plant,
Okay.
and you can see just like this kind of ooze spread out from it, and as it touches like the grass around it, it starts petrifying the stone and everything. But you have successfully destroyed the Venus flytrap.
Hey, that's for science stuff. Works really good.
What a great idea. You're brilliant.
Can I attempt to harvest
Why?
some
Keep-
of the toxin?
Yes, I will.
with
I
the
will
plant
allow
from
this.
the other one, the 2 plant.
That would give me an alchemy kit proficiency check. So it's in proficiency.
You
check.
go touch it. And oh, crap.
Stone hand.
Crit!
Is this from the Venus flytrap that you're doing?
No,
Or the
from the
Hose plant.
from the other one.
So you get, we'll say you get a 6 charge jar, 6 charges of this, and you kind of walk over, you examine the hose plant a little bit, you put the jar in front of it, and then you like grab the bulb part.
I
of
milk
the
the
hose.
plant.
You milk the plant,
Milking.
and this it's not actually toxin, it's acid.
Don't even.
Sprays out, and luckily you coated the jar with your crit. You were able to coat that jar, so you now have 6 charges of. I think there's just like an acid vial.
Vial of acid.
Yeah, vial of acid. So,
You're an acid milker.
Alright.
and then the plant literally just like wilts and just falls.
I just pat it
So-
and go, good plant.
So do we carry the bell with us and hit it over and over?
I don't know.
Let's take it. I'd like to pick.
So you pick it, and you actually like you can't really get the flowers; they start falling away pretty quickly. But the bulb inside, which kind of it feels heavier than a normal plant like bulb, and a little bit sturdier. So this is right now it's an unknown magic item for you. So you can just write down if you want. The name of it is Divine Bulb. if you would like to write it down.
Divine bulb.
Well, I don't.
We have the divine bulb. We have the love sap. Now we have acid.
Acid milk.
Is there anything else in the vicinity?
Nope.
I say we press on. Sorry, old chap, I don't know that there's a lot that we can do for you.
He's
We'll,
pretty
we'll
cracked
tell
up.
someone you're here. The Arcana, maybe, or someone else.
Eh.
Well, so at this point, you said the path divides.
Mhm.
What do you think, Evie? Right or left?
Well, our goal is to get Ainur Elabir. That being said, we cannot make it out of here without finishing this gauntlet, whatever we are in.
Oh, that's just the gauntlet again, guys.
Those two goals might go
Can
hand
I-
in hand.
Can I see
There
if
you
I
go.
can see in the vicinity with a survival check or whatever to see if there's any signs of like recent travel?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just say you can't. Like, it looks like these paths are pretty
Identical.
pristine. Yeah.
We have this handkerchief that will give us an audience with the Queen.
True.
I feel like that is one step ahead in the direction of getting some answers and possibly helping forge some sort of peace here. The wolves, we know nothing about.
You could offer the token to the wolves. Maybe it will open up negotiation.
That's a wonderful plan.
Not
I like him. He's good.
I hate it.
And secondary will-o-wisp timer says 59 minutes. It kind of hangs over behind.
Just follows me.
Ezra's in a heart. In a heart. Yep.
What's wrong with him, man?
Perfect.
Can the trio give me any guidance?
You can go ahead and roll me a religion check if you like to kneel down to pray.
So bad.
You must be new to this praying thing.
Yes, I am very much so.
She goes to
That's
praise,
just
then
a
she
7.
kneels down like on a
I
I just
Yeah,
imagine you go
you're not
kneel down and you
getting
just
any
trip and face
response.
plant and be like,
Bad
Yes.
reception in here.
Yep. The god you have called is not available.
To the left, then.
To the left.
What's it going about?
I will.
Yes,
I will.
thank you.
I'll try to take point whenever possible.
Everything I own.
In the box. To the left.
Left.
So you guys head off to the left. Ezra, roll me a perception check as you're the last.
Me and you,
caller.
and you and me. That's what's going on in his head. So happy together.
Give one more.
3! Keep your dice. It's not that important of a check. Moving on.
What?
Okay.
We don't know.
So you
just
continue
so
along this
focused on
path.
you.
Again, everything is kind of this
I
part,
like
this left path. A lot of like extra webbing is now crisscrossing this kind of icy, crystalline webbing until you get to a pretty large cavern, and it's just like this big wraparound cocoon almost. Kind of standard spider lair. There's a couple.
Standard spider layer.
Standard spider lair. There's a couple other of these white and blue spiders kind of milling about, and then they all kind of just like stop and look at you, and they start like raising up threateningly because there's intruders in the lair.
Show them your hanky. Am I allowed to do anything?
Not without Victor's permission.
Tell them to show the hanky.
Show them the handkerchief.
I like presenting. Oh,
And they
princely.
stop, and they
Well
back
done,
up, and
well
you
done.
hear a voice that says, so my scouts found you. Are they alive? And it's just coming from like everywhere.
Nebulous.
Yeah, nebulous.
Thanks to us, they are.
Wonderful. Step forward. Let me see you.
We would like to see you as well.
Of course. And descending from the ceiling is a much larger spider than the other ones here. Is what she looks like for everybody
She
who wants to
loves
see. You want to pass her around, actually. We'll show it. We got the spin cam going right now. Everybody can see the spin cam.
She's
Unless this is the one time we forget. Then we're just going to rules.
a little creepy.
For some reason, my brain's going back to the spider I tried to befriend and become my mount in the first.
This definitely is not the same monster from Storm King's Thunder. I don't know what you're talking about.
Eve will bow and say, Your Majesty.
Very polite. What can I do for you? As you can see, our kingdom is a little in shambles at the moment.
I can see that. I understand you have some problems.
You're referring to my husband.
Yes.
Yes, I would say that he's the biggest problem that I have. Have you come to kill him?
Maybe. So, hang on. I thought, so the daughter is, the princess is the one who is died.
Yeah,
right?
Princess is the one who's dead.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, I was thinking that the queen had been killed.
Nope.
Okay,
Ryan again.
Yeah, I'm just looking at it.
I don't mean to pry, but I understand there was falling out with you and your husband over how to raise your daughter.
He wished to send her away and arrange a marriage. I wanted her to choose her own path. We argued, and that argument turned to fighting. It was years of resentment that had built up, and unfortunately she got caught in the crossfire.
And she died.
If you've ever
Spider
seen
tears.
Yeah, if you've ever seen a spider sniffle, or if you haven't, you have now.
That's a lot of
Giant
tears.
teardrops.
And she died.
I'm so sorry to hear that. I don't have a daughter, but I have a mother, and I can't imagine losing her.
Thank you. That means a lot. And unfortunately, as consequence for our actions, we were all cursed with this malady. And she, raises a single mandible claw and flexes it a little bit, as if she's trying to remember exactly what she looked like in the past.
Who? Do you know who cursed you?
The kingdom that my asinine husband wished to give her to.
Ah,
But their name is lost to time.
interesting.
I don't mean to change the subject, but I don't suppose you've happened to see a little gnome traveling about these parts recently.
No.
We want to help you, but quite frankly, I'm not sure killing your husband is the best solution.
It is the only solution, she hisses. And all the other spiders, hiss along with her. No other solution will do.
I see.
There's no other way to end the war between you.
Unless you can break the curse, but one of us must die.
And that is how the curse can be broken?
Indeed.
So, you are in effect keeping your people captive.
My people serve me loyally.
As they should. But the quarrel between you two is keeping everyone captive. And as a leader, it is the honorable thing to resolve your differences and set aside your personal quarrels.
Roll a persuasion check. What an interesting thought.
I throw my dagger. Not me, just do it.
This is charisma? Oh, yes, please.
Persuasion check.
So 9, so persuasion. There it is. Okay, so 12?
You are insolent and do not understand the way of things. But I see where you are misguided. No, unfortunately, meeting him on the field of battle will not be within the cards. Only his death at your hands will break the curse.
Or conversely, your death.
And she takes a step back and she goes, "You wouldn't dare."
I'm just saying, one of you has to die to break the curse, am I wrong?
No. I mean, you're not wrong. Yeah, whatever that response would be.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Sari's just like in her head, like, okay, that's a lot of walking to go kill someone else. We can just kill
You're
this
right
one.
here.
You,
But she's
you
nice.
would
and
do
was
well
for
to
free
remove
choice.
this train of thought from your mind.
She's a jerk.
Forgive me. I'm
Trying
no,
to
no
arrange a
offense.
marriage.
We've only heard one side of the story.
That's true.
That's very true. I can't speak anyway.
Yeah.
Well, and
I'm just looking at
she did say that the daughter was caught in the crossfire, which means they could both be equally at fault based on whatever happened.
So based on this,
Moral quandary.
if we were to go and find this person, how would we get to him without fighting through an entire army? We have nothing at our disposal but ourselves.
We may have a way to sneak you in. If you don't mind a little bit of a journey.
I like
What
to.
type of journey are we speaking of? We're on a time crunch.
It won't take long. It's just through the trees on the backs of my children.
Over the river.
There will be a river, yes.
Through the woods.
I
Yes,
sure hope
indeed.
you have some very large children.
And she like, and she kind of like, she looks at you and she goes, maybe 2.
He's just like
1 foot on each.
Like roller skate, like spider roller skates.
Let's do this.
Amazing. Your
Spider
children?
kids.
You just call them that, or have you remarried? Just curious.
Actually, that's a really good point.
Or do you just have concubines?
Concubines.
Okay.
Yeah, mostly consorts.
No, I'm not. I don't like this queen anymore.
Well, I write down 8-legged shoes for me. or clockwork spider shoes.
I'll
That's how
defer
you
to,
record
Yep.
New idea.
Yeah.
8-legged shoes.
I'll turn to Ezra and I'll say, Ezra, if there's anything smart you want to say here, you have the stage.
You've said all the smart things tonight.
I'm gonna have to keep this vial.
48 minutes.
I can't
Hey,
keep
well,
this
hold
up.
on, let me try
It's
this.
wonderful.
I release you from your, what is this called? Your twitterbation.
No. Still Twitter pated.
Nice try.
Can't get rid of me then.
I tried.
It was a valiant effort.
Why, yes, it was.
I would like to take, Eve would like to take the divine bulb
Okay.
and try, like, ringing it or
So you kind of like wrap your hand,
Yeah.
your gauntleted hand against it. It does send out a good tone, but nothing happens.
don't know how to use this.
Perhaps we need to put the love sap on it.
I mean, perhaps if you told me to identify something, I could maybe help out.
Quiet from the peanut gallery.
I think we have some wizards that might know what to do.
Ezra, he seems just enamored with you. Would you
You,
please
Ezra.
ask him to...
Use your spell slot
Okay. I will
Not just
cast
kidding.
Identify.
as a ritual, if you can.
As a ritual? Okay, I will do it as a ritual.
Uh-huh.
So I'll just grab it.
Take your time.
So while he takes 10 minutes for that, the queen's just kind of gonna back away. Like, okay, I guess I'll just wait here for my dialogue responses.
She just T-poses.
Yeah. All right. So this is the divine bulb is an uncommon magic item. It has 5 charges. You may spend a charge to cast the create food and water spell from the bulb. With the added benefits, the food tastes delicious instead of bland, and provides advantage on Constitution saving throws for 24 hours.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Once the last charge has been used, the bulb begins to wither and dies away unless planted within an hour. If planted, a new divine bell will spawn in 2d20 days at the location with new bulb inside of it.
All right, I relay that all to Eve. Got that?
In more in-game,
Little.
you know, like
Yeah.
I'm sure
in-world
I'll
terms,
say it
yeah.
all. It was like, blah, 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 you know, all the arcane words.
Yep.
Flow.
You were so brilliant. Thank you. And thank you.
It was all Victor's idea.
I obviously...
Actually, it was, yeah.
Okay.
Well, time is of the
On
essence.
to the spiders. Put on your shoes.
Come, my children, we make our final assault. And these large spiders come down. There is a single hefty spider for you.
Do they?
The Clydesdale spider.
You got the chonky.
It's got
Spine's
like
tail.
a spine's tail.
Yes.
Do they do the where you know how spiders can throw their silk out and then fly?
A little parachute.
Yeah,
thing.
sure. Yeah, that's exactly what they do. Yeah, they start hovering over and they get like through part of the forest and they land down. Off in the distance, you can see what appears to be like another little clearing as you guys are running across the tops of the trees, and you can see a single gravestone that just marks this clearing, probably as that neutral territory that you heard about earlier. But you guys continue on. Who knows what direction it is at this point? Towards the lair. At some point, like there's more spiders following you. The queen has remained behind, as is her right, and you guys start hearing the braying of wolves and shouts of alarm. And so some of the spiders have to like drop off in order to provide a distraction until you are about 50 feet from the entrance for this main wolf area, and the spiders drop you down and they say, "We can't take you any farther."
Not at all. What do you want to do? Do we want to announce ourselves?
Do we want to kill the king?
Do we?
Well, maybe we at least talk with him first.
I don't think we... Right, I agree. I don't think we should just go in there and kill him.
Perhaps he's seen Eilenor, or whatever her name is.
Whoever she is. I know.
I know.
Your spiders are fighting off a wave of wolves that have come to hold off the invaders.
Is there anyone like prohibiting the path forward, like rules wise?
Nope.
What do you think, Ezra? Tell me what you think.
I think we should go forward and talk with this king.
32 minutes.
I think whatever you think is great.
So you guys move forward then?
No, I love you more.
Yeah.
I love you more.
Do you want
You hang up.
Do you want me to scout ahead for? I can only see so far.
I will throw my blade as far as I can to see if it sees anything.
Okay. It goes whistling through the forest. Go ahead and roll me a perception check.
That is a 19 plus my perception. So it's a 21.
The path appears clear, and then again, like you, it takes you a few minutes to get it right, but eventually the mournful cry comes back and returns to your hand.
I like this. This is very nice.
Okay.
That was neat to see. So neat.
The way is open.
Take a picture. Okay, so you guys head up the trail, and you come to another kind of like clearing, very similar, except for this one appears to be a standard wolf lair instead of the standard spider one. There's like a cave in the back, and there's some rocky crags and everything. And you hear, "So my wife has sent you to kill me."
Absolutely not. I mean,
Well, in
yes,
fairness, she has.
But we're not going to kill you. Yet.
Maybe.
You see a large wolf with pure white, kind of icy. It looks very much like almost like it's a frozen wolf itself. It's definitely way more vicious than the other one.
Whoa.
That's good.
And he comes up from one of the crags and he says, "Explain yourselves quickly before I lose interest and destroy you."
I like it.
Well, first of all, it is a pleasure to meet you. My name is Eve. What is your name?
I am the Winter King.
The Winter King. What a lovely title. Can you please explain to us what caused this rift between your kingdom?
You wish to talk when my forces are engaged against the creatures that you rode in on. You're gonna have to give me a persuasion check at disadvantage. And immediately just say yes or no. Without
16.
16. If you must know.
I must.
Our argument raged for years until finally I could take it no more. But she attacked me. And our fight killed my daughter.
Please Tell me what you remember of your daughter.
And he kind of sits and he says, her laugh, most of all.
Was it your laugh, or did she get it from her mother?
Orc tears.
It was both of ours. It was mine mostly, but she had that snort at the end that was her mother's.
She sounds beautiful.
She was.
To be cherished. How did she, if I may ask? I heard that she was caught in the crossfire.
We were powerful mages, and our spells collided at the wrong time. She was trying to get us to stop fighting, but the explosion killed her.
Anything like that would break anyone's heart. I'm so sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
But it seems this conflict was born out of the love you have for your daughter. Surely that's something that could be repaired.
Give me another persuasion check.
Yes. 19 plus 5. 24.
He kind of sits there for a moment, and then he growls, and that growl turns into a howl, and that howl is picked up by every single wolf in the forest, and soon there are 20, 30 wolves gathered around you.
Ooh, crap.
And then the spiders come in, and he says, halt! And they all stop. And he goes, I wish to see your queen. And he drops down, and he starts leaving, and he stops by you, and he looks at Victor, and he says, thank you. All of you.
May you find honor in this, and that you might honor her memory.
Of course. And he moves off his entourage in tow
If
of
not,
spiders.
we got a little bit of magic love juice for him.
I don't need performance enhancers. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's okay to admit that you do.
1 out of 5 winter wolves. So they all move off, and you are left in this clearing alone. They seem to be ignoring you.
We forgot to ask about the gnome.
Can we call out their name? Would that be irrelevant?
Use your smell.
Yeah, I want to go look inside the cave.
You do smell that same spice here.
I want to find out. Is there any wolves around? Like
Nope.
they're just disinterested.
Yep,
or they're
it's
just gone?
completely everything's completely abandoned.
I guess I'll follow my nose.
So inside the cave, you find a potion bottle that seems to be covered completely in frost.
Okay.
You can see kind of a little bit of a white blue inside of it. And then you also find a stone column about this big, and it has a small flame etched into the surface.
So it's like a drawing.
Yep, like somebody has
Like the water drop?
carved. Yeah, kind of like the water. It looks exactly like the stone column there.
All right.
And as you pick up the column, look it over. You don't activate any sort of magic inside of it at this time, but you all kind of turn around, and the path that you came in on is gone, and now it's the archway leading back to the Sanctum itself.
Well,
Do you think she came this way?
you would know better than we would. Can you smell her?
Not any more than is in the area.
Perhaps Glitterbug was telling a partial truth that Ainur is in the.
Eventually went through the purple.
Perhaps she made it to here, and then went back and then went to the next.
It's the colors that are mixing
Um,
together.
Seredan, give me an investigation check, just for a little bit more information.
As we gain more colors.
Is the column mobile? Like, can we pick it
Yeah,
up?
it's not very heavy.
I'm gonna pick it up and carry it because I want to put it on one of the not lily pads or
they're like stone lily pads.
Stone lily.
Is there anything else valuable?
No.
That's a 5.
A 5? Yeah, you don't find anything else, any other clues.
So, are we going to go back to the Sanctum? Or the...
I don't know that we have
Sanctum
much choice
Sanctorium.
at this point. If the path we
Sanctuary.
came in on is gone.
All right.
I'll pocket that potion.
Okay. On one unknown potion.
To be used at random.
So you kind of start marching through, and you hear Glitterbug say, the eternal struggles of lovers. To be honest, I wasn't expecting that outcome.
Neither was I. Do you want him to investigate your bottle?
Sure,
what it
but
is.
perhaps later. I'm worried about the time. If we have to go through all 3 of these things, how much time do we have left? now?
It has been, let's see, so you have about 23 minutes. Well, no, actually, that conversation didn't take too long, so about 30 minutes left. And you have about 3 hours and 40 minutes left before casting.
Maybe on the journey home.
Have any of you lost anyone you loved? Have you seek revenge for it? I'm just curious.
Lost someone, yes, but it's hard to get revenge on a disease.
Well, I mean, when you're you, perhaps, but have you asked anyone else?
On how to exact revenge on a disease?
Yeah.
Well, no, I suppose outside of becoming some sort of a barber. I was going to say doctor, but I didn't really. To fight that sort of thing, but that's not really my talent.
The person that died had like beard cancer or something?
Back in the day, barbers used to perform medical procedures.
Ah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking medieval.
That was the clerics would probably be the ones that would fight off disease in a magical world, or druids. But that's what the red and white barber shop pulled. It was saying that they provided services for
'cause they
teeth
did, like,
and blood.
bloodletting, right?
Yeah.
The more you know.
Yeah.
I still like beard cancer, but
Sweeney Todd.
It's a bad thing for dwarves, like beard cancer. All right, well, congratulations. You beat the first leg. That's great.
All right. Group high five.
And as the group high fives and
Show me where the high five is. You too, high five.
places the pillar down. As soon as it touches the surface, it starts spreading a red glow along your body.
okay. Do I see the barrier in front of the labyrinth? Go down.
It shows blue.
So if I touch both,
So you touch the blue one.
Yeah.
The color mingles and becomes purple, and that archway is gone.
The
So-
primary colors.
I told you I wanted to make them complex but simple.
So I relay that. If you touch both, you get a purple aura, and you can walk through the barrier from the labyrinth.
All right, Ezra, touch both.
Your timer's out. I'm just going to go ahead and say that when you pass through the archway,
Time magic.
you cure it. Yep.
Ezra, tell me something nice about myself.
Oh, Victor, I've had enough of your.
He's back to normal. Thank goodness.
Well, I'll touch both.
I
Okay,
thought he
perfect.
was gonna follow me everywhere.
Like a lost puppy.
So the archway, as you guys look at it, what looked like a labyrinth of stone, kind of hued purple, is actually a labyrinth of purple crystal walls and everything.
Okay.
And as you all, I'm assuming,
Yes.
touch both stones and move into the next area, we will have to find out what happens next time.
Oh.
Yeah.
The pillar that had the red. What was the symbol?
It was flame.
A flame.
Small
Okay.
little flame.
And that was the burning forest.
That was the. No, that was the. What do you mean?
Wasn't there-
That was orange.
Oh, that was orange.
Orange archway.
Oh, it was
Orange
red when we
forest.
touched it the first
Yep.
time.
Yeah, orange was the burnt.
The burn,
like
the
a-
burnt forest.
burnt
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and if you look over at that archway, it is yellow, like if you touch
Right.
the red. Yeah.
Okay. Makes sense.
All right.
Very cool. That's it for this evening. No, you are not level 3 yet. Sorry about that. Soon, my friends. Soon. But congratulations. Victor, Do you have inspiration currently?
No.
You have inspiration.
Thank you.
That was great. And Eve,
That was
you also
awesome.
get inspiration. That was
Thank you.
that was a very creative way. If you have it, you can pass it on to somebody else.
I do have it, so I will pass it on to Ezra.
And yeah, thank you, Ezra, for playing the wonderful
And
part of a star-crossed lover tonight.
You know, I was gonna try and roll some dice out of it, but it just was too good of an RP moment to pass.
So, a bunch of magical ingredients and plants in hand, a new potion, which, if you'd like to take
Sure.
some time to identify it, take 10 minutes, that'd be fine.
Okay.
It is a potion of frost resistance. So,
nice.
yeah.
Makes sense.
But we will find out what happens next time as you guys enter in, and Glitterbug says, "Have fun in Shiny Land."
Shiny land.
With the aboleth, right? No, that's in the
That's it.
forest.
That's the forest.
And we will find out what happens next time.
All right.
Thanks everybody for joining.
Thanks,
and
guys.
Bye-bye.